Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not adjust your dials, your television stations, your YouTube apps. It is actually, yes, it is true off season. You are still looking at the right show because as of now, we are officially in the off season and we're here to talk about everything that's going on in the off season. And of course, we're going to start off with talking about the results of the Super Bowl. And when I say we, I mean myself, I mean Chase Oliver. Sir, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing great, man. I'm super excited that Sam Darnold has won a ring before Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Josh Rosen and Baker Mayfield. The legend himself. Who would have thought? Damn fucking Darnold. All the Vikings fumbled. They should have just paid Sam Darnold all this money.
You
Interesting
know,
times
I
for him.
remember I remember when we were talking about this and I wasn't like banging the table, but I was like, it's gonna they're gonna go with JJ. Like the money says go with JJ.
Yeah.
And they could not get enough out of JJ McCarthy to make it worth the idea of uh you know that they did not make a mistake in passing up
hmm
on Sam Darnold, re-signing him. Wow. It is an incredible moment for Sam Darnold, like redemption, like your redemption arc, sir. Uh I will say, because we do have our ASC West slant or bent, it is really funny that Geno Smith went from the Seattle Seahawks to the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders now have the number one overall pick, and the
And
Seattle Seahawks won the
won the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
So shout out to Geno who managed to pull that off. Like I think that might be the first time in history.
No, I remember Seahawks fans, like especially one famous one in Mina Kimes. They're saying you're not going to get a better upgrade than Geno Smith. Like trading him was ridiculous. And it's like, oh, you guys got like a lateral upgrade. Like it's almost like you went into the T-Mobile and like you had the iPhone 17 Plus Pro, and
Mhm.
then the T-Mobile guy was like, hey, I noticed you only have 256 gigabytes. How about I get you one with 512 gigabytes? And you're like, yeah, sure, why not? And then
It's like Sam.
you got the phone. It's just it has more gigabytes out of it. That's how it felt getting Sam Darnold and stuff. But now it's like
as
now it's
as
ahead.
often as Sam Darnold could make mistakes, he did not make mistakes at the same frequency as Geno. And
I think in this postseason he ended as one of the only one of the first, if not or like the third ever quarterback to not have a turnover at all in the
yeah,
postseason. Something
yeah,
like that. Some crazy stat like
absolutely,
that.
absolutely incredible. And this is a obviously it's a team effort because you have the number I think one scoring defense backing him up, but like that allows you to take chances, it allows you to take risks, but it also means that you can play conservative when you need to or when you feel as though it benefits you. And that really worked out for them in the Super Bowl because all they had to do was hand the ball off to the Super Bowl MVP in Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
And Kenneth Walker, congratulations, sir. You're either getting franchise tagged or you're getting a giant payday. There's no two ways around it because you proved during this playoff run, especially once Charbonnet tore his ACL, that you can carry 100% the load. And that's never really been like the issue, but you showed why you were drafted and the where you were and why people had such high expectations. And sure, whoever does sign you will have to do a little bit of load management on K9 because that's always kind of been the knock against him. But you played yourself into like I mean during the celebration parade thing, the GM's joking about how Kenneth Walker's trying to negotiate a new contract with him, and I'm like, yeah, you might as well. You might
Yeah.
as
He
well.
just won Super Bowl MVP. He had one of the best playoff runs for a running back in quite some time. Like he was literally the engine of that Seattle's offense. Like he had that amazing game with the Niners where he had like 3 touchdowns. He had great yardage against the Rams. And in the Super Bowl, like the Patriots defense did their job. They slowed down JSN. They made sure JSN was pretty much an afterthought in that game. And it was like, okay, now slow down Kenneth Walker. And Kenneth Walker, he just like Collinsworth, he was like everybody's like, he just walks to the line, Mike. And then he just pops out of there. Like he was all excited about it. And it was like watching like a running back. It was just like, whoa, is this guy one of the top 5 running backs ever? The way he would just casually walk up to the line and burst through a hole. Like I don't think I've seen a running back perform that well in a Super Bowl in quite some time. And especially like running, because the last great running back performance I can think of was like James White, but that was like Brady checking down to him the whole time. It
yeah.
wasn't like oh yeah, it was like James White was like running the rock and he was killing it. Like not even Marshawn Lynch. I guess the Patriots, the first Patriots Super Bowl, like he's like the only one where he was like, oh yeah, he was kicking ass that game. Like he was like beast mode, like breaking tackles and stuff. But I can't think of a Super Bowl in recent memory where I'm like, yeah, the running back really is like the main reason why they won the game. And Kenneth Walker literally was one of the main reasons why the Seahawks won the game, because the Patriots, for being such a great run defense, had no answers for him.
Did you see the mic'd up video of
Oh yeah,
Moore talking to Milton Williams? It's like, we did our job. Like we did our job. And that, I mean, they, to a certain extent, they did.
No, they held them to, as you know, I was arguing for the Patriots. What did I say as part of my argument? I said, hey, Seattle's going to kick threes. They're not aggressive. They're not going, and that's what happened. They just settled for 3 points. But where I was wrong was I thought Vrabel was going to be more aggressive, because this was a suit, and he didn't go for it on fourth down a lot. Like I thought there was plenty of times. Like I get it's a 9-0 game, and you're just like, oh, we just need one possession, one turnover, one stop. But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, look, they're settling for 3. You guys have to be the aggressors in this situation, and that's ultimately what cost. Like, there's a lot of things that cost New England the championship, but them being very, very not aggressive in certain moments.
To your point, momentum is such a big factor. And however we want to say like what the final score looks like, or what the score was after the Patriots finally started getting going in the fourth quarter, when Seattle kicked that second field goal and they were up 6-0, it felt like the game was over.
Mm-hmm.
Because it felt like the Patriots could not do anything. And all Seattle had to do, to your point, was kick threes, and they were going to win this game. And I don't know if this is a case of Drake May's injury. Like, I know he had the AC injury. I don't know if this is a case where he just was limited. But if he was limited, they did not try to change their game plan. They were trying to move the ball through the air, and it was like, this is not going to work. And Travion Henderson, like you have the ability to do checkdowns and get people into space between Ramondre, Travion Henderson, and Hunter Henry, and even Austin Hooper. Like, I don't know why they weren't doing that, but they tried to push the ball downfield with these wide receivers, and Drake May just could not do it.
No,
I don't know if it was the injury. I don't know if it was poor decision-making, whatever the case was. But he, at multiple points in that game, looked like New York Jets Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
He
looked bad. And like, I understand where like maybe where Josh McDaniels' game plan was for this game, where it's like, when you look at the Seahawks defense, they're very aggressive. He likes to blitz and do all these things. He'll bring a DB down. I understand where he was looking at it, where it's like, I'm going to attack him deep. And maybe that's where Drake's mind was thinking, that we're going to attack him deep the whole time. And that will make it where everything else will become easier once we get them to stop being aggressive. But the problem was Drake wasn't even making the right reads or figuring out ways to make it where Seattle had to stop being an aggressive defense. He was still trying to throw the ball deep and holding on to the ball way too long. Like, yeah, there was a couple plays where the left guard and the left tackle, like, they just got their asses kicked and Drake got sacked and stuff. But then there was a bunch of other plays where I'm like, you know, Hunter Henry's just a chip block and he's right there. You can dump it off to him. Like, you can do that. Or, Ramondre Stevenson's flared out. You can just toss it to him and hopefully he makes a guy miss and stuff. Like, there was just a lot of things that you watch in that game with Drake May where it wasn't a good game for Drake May. Like, this, like, the only drive he looked good was after that the fan that streaked on the field. Then like the crowd was all into it, and then like all of a sudden, like, he threw 2 beautiful balls to Matt Collins. It's like, that's the Drake May I know. That's the guy that everyone's saying is the second place MVP. That's the guy right there. And then after that, like, he had one of the worst throws I've ever seen in the Super Bowl, where he just flinged that shit and then it got intercepted. And it was like, who the fuck are you throwing to in that situation? Like, you. And that was just doing. And the thing was, that drive was crucial because it was like, hey, if the Patriots score here, it's close. And minus the AJ Barner touchdown, Seattle wasn't like it wasn't like this dominant offensive march. It was like, hey, they're just hitting you with jabs. You just need that one haymaker to get back in this fight.
That with that interception, to as you bring that up, that was not a situation where, at least from what I remember seeing, where there was some kind of miscommunication between where the wide receiver was going and where the quarterback thought he was going. The receivers was still cutting to the right of the field. Drake just sailed the ball to the middle, and I'm like, where, like in essence, you threw that where 3 Seattle defenders were.
Yeah.
Like, granted, 3 people could make plays on the ball, and that wide receiver had no shot because his eyes were just straight ahead. And going as he's traveling right. Like, I don't know who he was throwing to. And listen, I was saying this for weeks. Right around when the playoffs started, I was bringing up the Patriots' strength of schedule, and I kept saying over and over again, are they actually playing teams that can put up a fight? And the consensus was, because the thing is, during the schedule, during the regular season, you can make the argument of, you can only play who the NFL puts in front of you. But once you hit the playoffs, that's not really true anymore, because now it's teams that earned it. And people keep bringing up, oh, he beat 3 top 5 defenses. He didn't beat 3 top 5 offenses.
Yeah, exactly.
That could put up, and that was what I was trying to say over and over again, is that they could not give complimentary support to their defense. As good as Derwin James is, as good as as the Chargers defense is, they cannot do anything if Herbert's under pressure all the time, and you don't have you can't run the ball the way you want to.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, like, it doesn't matter how good Alshire and Stingley and Will Anderson are. If there's no Nico Collins, you lose Dalton Schultz, and you have a rookie running back in Woody Marks and the ghost of Nick Chubb. Like, there's nothing, and CJ Stroud keeps regressing. And then it doesn't matter how good Alex Singleton, how good Pat Surtain, and all these guys are for Denver if you're running with the backup quarterback who hasn't thrown a pass in 2 years.
Yeah, it was one of those where it's just like, the Patriots got a lot of good, favorable matchups to, get to the spot where they were at. It was just one of those things where it was like, hey, you faced a team with a quarterback that was playing good, efficient football with good wide receiver play, had the offensive player of the year, has one of the more dynamic running backs in the NFL, and a good offensive line. Like, that's another team besides Denver. Texans offensive line is not one of the best offensive lines, and we all know the Chargers offensive line is a mess. Like Denver was the only good offensive line that you faced. Like, that was it. And then they're going against Seattle, who has 2 good tackles, solid guard play, good center. It's your defense is not going to look that dominant.
There's an easy argument there that, but for like Jared Stidham's backward pass, which I still don't know. I still don't think it really was. I think he was throwing it and a Patriots player hit it, and so it moved backwards. But whatever. But for that was how New England scored their points. That was how they got their touchdown. Like, if that had been Bo's not doing that. Like, he may throw interceptions, but he's not doing that shit. Yeah. So like, it would have been very interesting. But hey, the Patriots have nothing to be ashamed of, because their win total projection was, I think, 8 for the season. They were 14-3, number 2 seed. They won the division. You made it to the Super Bowl, and you have a decent amount of cap space to try to spend and bring Drake May help. And so, like, there's things to be happy for and things to be looking forward to. Same way, like last year for me, I was like, hey, Denver got a playoff game. I don't give a shit if they win or lose. You know what I mean? Like, the win total was 5.5. They got 10. Let's go. We're here. So it's like, all right, you gotta look at what you can build from here. And hopefully, if you are a player that is on an expiring deal, and I say hopefully from the Patriots perspective, you are able to bring that player back, with the idea being that you look at them and you go, where else are you going to go? You just were playing in the Super Bowl. Stick with us. We're going to get more help. We'll give you what we can on a pay bump, but money's got to go elsewhere. Like, where, like, do you want a ring, or do you want to get paid? And so, like, they're going to have to try to figure that out. But the sky is the limit, because Drake May at least proved during the regular season that he can get a team to the playoffs. And granted, They're now going to be facing a number 1 schedule versus a number 2 or 3 schedule that they had from last year.
No,
but
they had the worst schedule. They had 4. They had the 4th.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They had the 4. They went from 4 to
they selected their all-star left guard, Will Campbell.
But
I love how people are like, Campbell's now a guard, and I'm like, yeah, he's still a tackle. It's just there's some things he has to work on. I think the injury kind of derailed what could have been and stuff. But yeah, he had a rough game. That was like one of those where it's like, never show me the tape of that game ever again, because like, he just did not look. He did not look like a first round. If you would have told me he was a first round pick, I was like, this guy sucks. Like, what are you talking about? Like, maybe you do take him a side guard. Who knows?
One of the key things is a lot of times teams that make it to the playoffs aren't necessarily the best team. They're the teams that are the least injured.
Yeah.
And they're the teams that can stay healthy once they get into the playoffs. And so, that's just the luck of the draw. My quarterback breaks his ankle and the championship doesn't have, there's wide receiver 2.
Watching the game, I was like, man, if Denver, Houston, or Buffalo were in it, it would have been a much competitive Super Bowl, in my opinion. Like, I was like, those 3 teams, I would have been like.
I mean, like, I can make the argument Denver could win that game.
No, I'm just saying it's more competitive. Like, it's a more competitive game to like every other team that were in the playoffs, even Jacksonville, because I know everyone was like loving Jacksonville, but I think if like the Chargers, Jacksonville, Steelers, and the Patriots that did make it, if those teams make it, it's the same game that we just watched on the thing. But I think with Denver, Buffalo, and Houston, if they would have made it, it would have been a much more like competitive football game. Like, it would have been like, oh, okay, this is a Super Bowl. This was worse than Rams and Patriots from a few years back. Collinsworth was trying to sell it like, it's a defensive battle right here. This is great. I'm like, Chris, you cannot tell me this.
Drake May went into the fourth quarter with like 35 passing yards and then ended the game with 265.
Yeah, thank God.
That's all you really were getting spanked.
I had his and you can't call it a defensive game when like Kenneth Walker has like 100 rushing yards in the first half, and it's like, no, it's not a defensive battle. It's just these teams are not scoring. Like, and I'm not like one of those like, I need score. The game was just boring. Like, it was just a boring game. Like, it was a slog to watch. Like, once we got to Bad Bunny, I was like tired. I was like, oh my God. And then like Bad Bunny had a great performance. It was really good visuals and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then like the third quarter hit, and I was just like, God, I had to sit through another freaking 30 plus minutes of this bullshit. And then finally it was like, oh, okay. Like, the fourth quarter was the best. And especially when it looked like the Patriots could maybe make it interesting and stuff, I was like, okay, good. I don't want a dog in the race. I just really wanted a good game to watch. Like, that's why you watch the Super Bowl too. And it was just, this was like, at least with Rams and Patriots, it was like, there's some interesting values to it. Like, even though it was kind of a boring game, this one was just like slog city and stuff. Like, it was just moving so slow, but it was a sunshine Super Bowl. Got to see the sun the whole day.
But for all of these teams, it's now everyone's 0-0. Seattle will lay the claim to being the defending Super Bowl champions, but I do kind of agree with Bill Belichick's idea that it's a different team, so you're not really defending anything because it's not the same people. There will be changes, and a lot of those changes will be determined over the course of the next few weeks and months as we get through first the Underwear Olympics, the Combine, which is the end of this month. Then we have free agency in the new year that's going to start in March, and then the NFL draft in April, May. And a lot of teams will be having new people at the helm trying to figure out who's going to be on this team, who's not going to be on this team, any potential trades and things like that, because we had one of the largest.
Do you want to hear quick little breaking news of what the Jaguars plan to do with Travis Hunter?
Oh, God. Is it just going to be wide receiver?
Full-time cornerback. Part-time.
No
receiver.
way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
That means they're really happy with Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they re-signed him, but that means they're really happy with Jacoby Myers.
No. Like, I had Travis Hunter as a better corner than wide receiver, but I understand why people wanted him at wide receiver.
Yeah.
But I always thought he was a better corner. Like He was the only corner that I saw. Like, by the way, offensive rookie of the year, Tet McMillan, or sorry, I can't call him that. Tutoria McMillan, T Mac. I don't want his mom finding this podcast, John, and then freaking sending us angry DMs.
We'd
Like,
at least be famous.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. He would lock that dude up. And like Tutoria McMillan, like we saw what he did to some of the better corners, and like Travis Hunter was like one of the only few that was just like making that guy's life a living hell and stuff. So yeah, no, I'm cool with him being cornerback and just put him as a gadget wide receiver in every so often.
Yeah,
Better, but I think it's better.
I mean,
but it's kind of still stupid that you traded a first round pick, bro. Like he's gonna play both sides of it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they could have had some better picks at that.
No, this is like that. It's such a Tony Khan move. Like he's like, oh, sign him and he'll do both for me. It's like, bro, he can't work. He can't do dynamite and collision, bro. Calm down. Choose one show for him. Figure out what show the fans want to see him on.
He's gonna leave the announce booth and
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, there are a lot of teams that are going to be having new decision makers, new taste makers, so to speak, in putting together these offenses and defenses, because we had one of the largest change-ups and shifts in coaching and who's on what staff. And we covered a chunk of it before, but as we got into the playoffs, there were more decisions that were made. And coming out of the Super Bowl, there was one big change that was made. So we're going to go through some of the staff changes that took place since last we talked about it. And we'll start alphabetically with one that's pretty interesting. The Arizona Cardinals hire Mike LaFleur, the brother of Matt LaFleur, to become their new head coach. He is now the former Rams offensive coordinator, and one of his first moves was to hire Nathaniel Hackett of the Jets, former Jets offensive coordinator and former Broncos head coach, to be the Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator. So I guess the question here is, I mean, one, how do we feel about the move generally? And two, I think the big question is from both Mike LaFleur and Nathaniel Hackett's standpoint or their mentality, what does this mean for Arizona and Kyler Murray?
Yeah, like I didn't like this move whatsoever. Like I think the Cardinals want to jump on trends. They're like, hey, we got to get our coach. We got to get someone young and awesome in here. Worked with the Rams, is working with the Seahawks. Let's get Mike LaFleur, who has not done any offensive play calling during his time with the Rams. He was just offensive coordinator. Like it's just. That's why he brought in Nathaniel Hackett, who's a play caller. Like everyone's like, why are you bringing Hackett? Because Hackett knows how to call plays. He may not call good plays, but he knows how to call plays. Like, I don't know what it means for Kyler Murray. I do think they are probably going to try to find a suitable trade partner for Kyler Murray and try to figure out what, like, because the thing is, a team's going to have to eat up that contract. And if you're going to eat up that contract, you want it where Kyler Murray wants to play for your team. So Kyler Murray kind of is like a free agent, even though he has a contract. He can decide what team works for him. And it doesn't matter if, like, because like the Jets, they're not going to send whatever picks for Kyler Murray, but he's like, no, I don't want to play there. And then the Jets are like, well, if he doesn't want to play here, we don't want to take up his salary. And then the Cardinals are like, great. Could you revise the career of Kyler Murray? It's possible. Like, it's doable.
I mean, he is about to be a 29-year-old quarterback with a cap hit of $52 million.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying it's doable. He still has the tangibles. I can see a team like the Steelers, taking a risk on a guy like Kyler Murray and stuff. Like they have the pieces. It's just like get a quarterback, and he may frustrate you as you watch him every Sunday, but you still have a defense that can keep you in games and stuff. So I don't know, but I think Kyler's time in Arizona is done. Not a fan of this hire whatsoever, though. I don't see him. I think they give Mike LaFleur the same time they gave Gannon, 3 years, and then you're out. Good job. Yeah. Good luck, buddy.
I don't know if Arizona, if he's gonna have time to get a real quarterback in there, because like, who are you gonna get? Like, you would get, in essence, waiver wire quarterbacks right now.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're not really in position to draft one. So unless you really think you're going to be able to get one next year, when a lot of these larger name quarterbacks are going to be coming out, and there's a good chance you will with one of the waiver wire quarterbacks, right? Like if you're getting like one of these guys just to be a fill-in. And
I mean, they have Brissett for one more year, but then are you gonna re-sign Brissett again and do all the like? giving Jacoby Brissett like average like 15 million a year just to be your backup, like that sounds absolutely ridiculous. Like I honestly don't know what that organization did. They need a lot. Like I honestly they should have went with like bring in a veteran name and be honest with them, being like, hey, look, you're not our future head coach for the long term. We just need someone to help repair this roster.
Yeah.
And then we'll put you in like a consultant role, like we'll promote you as a consultant or something, and then we'll hire a real head coach. Like the Michael LaFleur hire, he's like his interview didn't impress me. He seems like a good guy. Like I don't think he's a bad human being at all. I don't know. It's just like, what can you do? This team's a mess. Like it's probably one of the like I know people shit on the Browns, but I think the Cardinals, they're lucky they play at the 4:00 slot every Sunday. no one really knows about the disaster of the Cardinals. I think people don't really like the Cardinals don't get enough shit. Like they just don't get enough shit, and it's because like in the early 2010s and the late 2000s they were good.
Yeah, Carson Palmer,
like Kurt Warner, Carson Palmer, Larry Fitzgerald's like an all-time receiver. There's people who love that guy, but they don't get enough shit for just being a shitty organization. They really don't. They just don't. Like since like 2013, they like after Kyler's sophomore season, they've just been shit, and they haven't been enjoyable to watch. They're the oldest franchise in the NFL, and they haven't done shit. Like why is it that Cleveland and all these other teams we make fun of them, but the Cardinals is like no one cares. Like just no one cares. Like if the Cardinals moved to another location, I don't think people would care. They would just be like, okay, like sure,
yeah.
I don't like the Cardinals can move to Sacramento, and no one would care. No one would be like, oh, there's Sacramento.
I don't think the people in Sacramento would care.
Yeah, they don't care about the Kings like anymore. So like, why would they care about the freaking Cardinals? They'll be like, oh, cool, we got a basketball team. Oh, another one. Oh, football. Oh, MLS. Oh, American football. Cool. Like that's how relevant the Cardinals are. But yeah, so
let's turn to a team that hired a former Browns head coach in the Atlanta Falcons. They needed a lot of different people, and we've touched already on a bunch of the hires, like Kevin Stefanski bringing in Matt Ryan as a team's president of football. But they did bring in Bears assistant GM Ian Cunningham as the new general manager, and they did hire former Rams senior offensive assistant and former Patriots and Browns OC Alex Van Pelt as the quarterback's coach. So maybe there's some hope with Ryan, with Van Pelt, try to work with Penix, because Penix, when he was playing, looked very erratic.
Yeah,
and it's tough to look erratic when you have the Bijan Robinsons, Algier Pitts, and especially the Drake Londons of the world. Now, they don't have the best wire 2 and wire 3, but like with that alone, you should be pretty solid. And the fact that he looked kind of erratic, I'm interested to see how Ian Cunningham does as a general manager, because like you can argue that your offense is set. You do have to do a little bit on the O-line because you lost like the Drew Dalmans of the world, but it's really your defense, and that James Pierce Jr. guy.
too much of a psychopath. Like you guys know, if you guys listened to Tru Offseason last year, I was like, I would draft James Pierce, my type of psychopath. That's what I want my edge rusher to be, and he was great. He was great for them, and he's too much of a psychopath, and now he's probably not going to see the football field next year, maybe the year after. I don't think
he's going to face charges, I think, that could carry like 5 years of prison.
Atlanta jails, like good service time. He's in there for 1 year. Could get comeback prison buff. But yeah, no, like it sucks for the Falcons because they literally lost like 2 first-round picks if you look at it, because they lost to James Pierce, and now the Rams have their first-round pick, and it's like you lost 2 first-round picks because of this James Pierce incident, which is a horrible incident. And I hope the WNBA player that I forgot her name that he was dating is okay and everything like that. Hopefully she's good and stuff. My prayers out to her. James Pierce is an asshole. Like just a terrible story overall and stuff. Like
I how do you just chase after somebody like that?
In
Like,
a Lambo, and then you're ramming your car, like, bro, like, dude, like some guys, like, I never understood guys that obsessed over women like that. Like, I get it, like love and everything and whatnot. I'm in love too. Like, John's in love. He's married, but I don't know. My girlfriend was just didn't want to be with me. I'd be sad and go to the gym and be like every other dude after a breakup. But I'm not gonna like follow her around and try to like Colleen one day was like, John, put the wedding ring down to break. You'd just be depressed for like 2 days and binge watch season 1 of The Pit. But I don't think you would be like
no,
you would
I would
go
not be
chasing
able to
down.
watch because she's an ER nurse. I would not be able to watch that. I would just be like,
No, no, that's why you would watch it, so that way you can remember her and stuff.
maybe.
Like, yeah. No, I know you, John. You're a
I'd be
sensitive
like,
soul.
no, honestly, I'd probably be like, okay, wait, I got to figure out what's going to happen with this condo.
Yeah, no, but I don't think that would happen. We wouldn't go that crazy. It's just, guys, look, if a woman's really like affecting you like this, go to therapy, bro. Like
Yeah.
there's like, I know it's a cliche saying, but it's the truth. There's plenty of fucking fish in the sea. Like there really is. Like, like there is. Like, it's not.
The best part is like it's not even like you and I. We're talking about a first round NFL talent
Yeah,
with first round NFL money.
Yeah, this guy has like money, like straight, bro. He has a Lambo as a rookie, dude. Lambos aren't fucking cheap, dude. Like, you gotta pay 800,000, and I know it's not just a stock Lambo. He probably put custom shit in there, custom this, custom that. You gotta customize a Lambo, and so that 800,000 becomes 1.5 million. That's like a signing bonus for him right there. And it's like, really, like, you went that crazy over fucking a girl, like. It's insane to me how some guys sometimes get into it. But that was the thing with James Pierce. Everyone said James Pierce is like the bad version of a psychopath, while Ruben Bain from Miami is like a good version of a psychopath. For Ruben Bain's psychopath natures, like, it just seems like it's just in football. It doesn't, unless I'm wrong and he has character issues. But yeah, James Pierce's character issues, they're bad. Like, they're like, it's bad, and we're thankful that it wasn't anything worse. It wasn't like anything like horrifically worse, like where the woman lost her life or something. Like, we're thankful for that and stuff. So yeah, sucks for the Falcons, but that Bears GM, I don't know. Like, what has the Bears front office done to make you say like, oh,
that's what I'm saying. That's what's got me intrigued to see how Ian Cunningham does, because Ryan Poles has caught a lot of flack for a lot of decisions over the years. He's hit on a few of his later round picks, but some of his moves have been pretty suspect. And the jury, like Caleb's now, it's starting to turn the corner, but like for a while there, it was like, oh shit, did they fuck up again with this Caleb Williams pick? But a team that has prided itself on stability made a big change, and that was Baltimore Ravens letting go of John Harbaugh. And of course, we did cover it, but they brought in your boy. They brought in Jesse Minter.
So sad. He should just stayed.
Former DC of the Chargers. But now we have the update. We know if Minter is basically going to be calling the plays on defense and whatnot. We know who will be calling the plays on offense. It will be the Bears offensive coordinator, Declan Doyle. Now, Declan Doyle was not really doing that much in Chicago as their offensive coordinator because he was in an offense under an offensive head coach in Ben Johnson. But he does have experience now working on designing an offense, coming up with plays and whatnot. And he was Denver's tight end coach before he came to Chicago. So that'll be interesting to see. And they've also brought in Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver to be the new DC. Weaver was a former Ravens D-line coach. So I guess my question there is, how do we think that this signals that there's going to be even more pressure on Lamar Jackson to run this offense?
Yeah, there has to be. Like, Minter's going to do a scene on defense. Like, Minter's probably like, we have Mike McDonald at home and stuff, and that's why the Ravens probably brought him, because I'm just surprised they brought someone in from the Harbaugh family tree. Minter, for all accounts, he's a Harbaugh guy and stuff. And
yeah.
I think they look at it where they say, hey, look, because they loved Mike McDonald. They didn't want him to go and stuff, but there was no choice. Like, there was a head coaching vacancy in Seattle, and Seattle got this guy, and he's now a Super Bowl coach, and they're looking at it with Jesse Minter. And you look at what he did for Michigan the 1 year he was there, amazing as a DC there. He did a great job during his time at Baltimore, and then he also did a great job with the Chargers the last 2 years. Like the Chargers, like if you look at that defense for the Chargers, yeah, you'll see the names Mack, Derwin James. That's fine. But then the rest of the roster, you're like, who the fuck is that guy? And it's like Minter did a great job at elevating, especially like with the safeties. Like, and that's the one thing with Baltimore. Their secondary was really bad. The Chargers secondary was like really, really like doesn't have like the scariest of names. Like Tarheeb still for the 2 years that Minter had him, Cam Hart for 2 years. They signed Dante Jackson, who is a respectable corner in the NFL. Benjamin St. Juste was a bust, but he played much better under Minter's scheme on defense and stuff. And then we traded for Elijah Molden 2 years ago, and he became one of the better safeties for us. And we ended up signing him and stuff, extending him and signing him to a contract. Oh, he revised Tony Jefferson's career. Tony Jefferson was like going to be a scout for the Ravens, and then our GM called him up, and then Tony Jefferson was like, "Hey, we got to keep Unk on the roster." I mean, this guy's played what? Yeah, I mean, he had like what 3 or 4 interceptions this year. But yeah, so it's just like he knows what he's doing defensively, and I think that's what Baltimore is excited about, is that he's going to revise the identity. And now it's on the offense. We're going to see, maybe this is like the trend, like, hey, let's hire these Ben Johnson kind of like disciples or like creative offensive minds that will make the playbook a little bit more creative instead of just like, all right, well, Lamar, can you figure out how to do something backyard football style? Like when the play breaks down, like, no, maybe he'll design more QB rollouts, do a lot of different things with Lamar. Like, no, I'm like a lot of times with Lamar under Greg Roman and then formerly Todd Monken, it was like they're trying to force like this weird pro style offense under Lamar when it's like you're not really like doing Lamar any service because you're not running what Lamar is really good at. Yeah. So it's just like, I think with this guy, he's going to understand Doyle. He's going to be like, hey, I was with Mike McDaniel, and then I was with Ben Johnson. I know how to like create plays. Like you got a tight end like Mark Andrews. I can find a way to get this guy open with tight end screens like Mike McDaniel will do. And like I have Lamar Jackson, and like we did this with Caleb, and like this is what we worked with, and I had this play and stuff. So I think it just benefits them, to be honest, because like it's a guy that's going to run a little bit of a different offense instead of like forcing Lamar to like run this prototypical NFL offense that it's not his forte, to be honest. And he did great in those prototypical NFL offenses. I mean, he's won 2 MVPs, so hey, maybe he gets a third one. Who knows?
It does feel one of those situations where like they brought in Minter because of that Harbaugh connection, and the idea there is it provides stability as they change out of the Harbaugh kind of system or that Harbaugh family tree.
Yeah, the stepson just took over the.
Yeah.
It's like wait, you're the owner now. Fuck. I remember making fun of you in the break room.
Let's turn to the Buffalo Bills. We did cover the firing.
One of the worst hires, bro.
And
promotions, I should say.
I think this is what's fascinating to me, which like you and I think we talked about this when they initially fired Sean McDermott. The idea that like would not someone like a John Harbaugh have preferred to go to Buffalo versus New York, but like. There had to have been somebody better, it feels like, unless Josh Allen banged the table and said, I want this guy.
I can guarantee Josh Allen. Josh Allen is not that type of guy where he's like, we got to keep Joe in the. No, this guy, Josh Allen, like, that's a problem. He, like, how we talk about with pro wrestlers, they sometimes don't pull their political card.
Yeah.
Like, Josh Allen's not politicking himself to put himself over in the big title match, brother. Like, you got it. He should have politicked harder because this right here.
Now I'm biased.
You might as well just sign Mike McCarthy. You might as well just brought in Mike McCarthy if you're going to promote Joe Brady.
I'm biased, so I like their new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator hires because they are Broncos senior offensive assistant Pete Carmichael and Broncos assistant head coach and defensive pass game coordinator Jim Leonard, who is basically the second in command to Vance Joseph. And once again, my team just kept being called frauds in this, that, and the third, but they had the highest number of interviews out of any team, and they get signed.
Davis Webb hasn't done shit, and he was getting interviews.
So there you go. But so that one's going to be fascinating because part of the issue was the GM's still an idiot. So what's going to happen with their picks?
Where
What's going to happen in
this
free
Brandon
agency?
Beam character,
Oh,
I don't like it. Honestly, I remember what I said it too when I said they chose the GM over the coach.
yeah,
That probably is one of the things where coaches are like, "Oh no, I'm
yeah,
not going there," because they already decided who's more important. It's
yeah,
gonna because head coach and GM relationships. It's very interesting because GMs they kind of are like, put it in perspective, they're handling like the financials and they're like kind of playing real life Madden while the head coaches are developing these players and making these players into better football players. And they're the ones that know how the team works the best. And this one just felt like it was like they couldn't find a coach that, like, it's crazy that like Buffalo's getting a new stadium. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and not one head coach was like, "Yeah, let's
yeah. I
fucking go."
want that. Yeah,
Like Mike McDaniel could have gone there, and he was just like, "No, I'm cool with hanging out with Herbert." Like he was like, "Okay, sure." Like, why not be a head coach? Sure, go hang out with Justin Herbert and stuff. But yeah, I think the GM Brandon Beam. It when there's like a documentary of like Josh Allen why he never won a Super Bowl, and we're gonna look at Brandon Beam and everyone's just gonna shit on him, and we're gonna be like, yeah, and we're gonna go back to this episode filmed on February 13th, 2026, and we're gonna say, yeah, I told you, John. Remember when I told you this, that Brandon Beam is like Trent Baalke 2.0 and stuff, because yeah, no, giving this guy all this power, he pretty much just went with like the next yes man. It was like with Balky with Marone, where he went with Doug Marone because Doug Marone was his boy, and it was like, what? No, like he sucks and stuff. Like Joe Brady's like the type of guy who was like, he's just OC, bro. Like great mind. I think he's a great OC. Head coach. I don't know. Sure, why not?
but let's turn to one that I'm sure you will be able to wax poetic about.
Who?
The Cleveland Browns
Oh,
have their head coach. It's
Munkin.
Todd Monken. And
Yeah.
Todd Monken is set with the quarterback. He always.
Whoa, Pro Bowl quarterback, man, get it right.
How do you feel about this one? How do you feel about this one? What does Chase Oliver's Shador Sanders is amazing gimmick look
Oh,
like?
it's not a
In
gimmick, dude. This is real life. Y'all just hate a young man that is successful, bro. Like y'all didn't watch the door like I did, man. Blow up the wrist, man. 2-time Pro Bowler inbound, bro. Come on. I do like this hire. It's just like I just don't know if he's a long-term option. Like he just feels like Munkin's a proven winner wherever he's gone as an OC. It's just more of like as a head coach, I just don't know yet. I can't remember the last time he was a head coach, to be honest. Like I don't even think he has been. Like if he has, it probably did have a good run. Or if it was a small college that I didn't pay attention to and stuff. But
he was, yeah. So the last time he was a head coach, he was head coach of Southern Miss from 2013 to 2015.
yeah, and Southern Miss, maybe one good season on there, like almost made a bowl game or something. Who knows?
That's all he's really ever done. Like from a head coaching perspective.
Yeah.
Then it was Tampa Bay OC, Cleveland OC, Georgia OC, and QB coach, Ravens OC, and now Browns head coach.
Did you see how happy he was to see Shador? He's like, "Come sit down, my man."
Yeah.
He was like, I think with Monken, I think the thing is like he's interested in seeing what he has in a guy like Shador Sanders, and like if he can actually do something with him. Will Cleveland draft a quarterback? Yeah, if one of these guys just happen to be at a pick that they feel makes draft sense. Like there's a lot of like people don't like Drew Aller, but Drew Aller has a lot of skill sets that could make him a first round quarterback. He just does. Like whether you like him or not, he does have skill sets. And if Drew Aller is sitting there in the 3rd or 4th round and no one wants him, yeah, take him. It makes the most sense to take a guy like that.
You at least have the ability to have the QB competition.
Yeah, exactly.
The very least.
Yeah,
and it's so like you're paying like. I mean, I was about to say it's not like you're paying them a lot of money, but you still have the fucking Deshaun Watson contract hanging over your head for.
Yeah, no, yeah. Deshaun Watson makes up for all the QBs they'll ever draft or sign for the next 5 years. But yeah, no, like It's
How
just
much
one of those
further do
things.
they have on this?
Like 2 more years, right?
Oh, no way.
Is it off like next year?
Okay, so right now. Okay, hold on. All right. So this is arguably the last year of the contract, and then 27, 28, 29 are all void years. But the cap hit this year is $80 million.
They paid
I don't know if they can add more void years.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if they would want to, because they're gonna cut him. They're not gonna re-sign him, and then the void years they collapse, right? So all that money gets accelerated back into 2027. So they're going to be adding in $23 million of cap hit on top of $25 million that exists right now in 27. So the Browns aren't going to be competitive for another couple of years. Todd Monken, sir, enjoy what few years of Myles Garrett you have left. Like, that's the only thing I can really say there.
Yeah, but I think he'll do fine. It's one of those, like, you when the Browns find the head coach, you're like, man, who was the head coach before the Browns? It was Stefanski. No, someone else after Stefanski. Who? Can't remember. Oh, Todd Monken. Oh yeah, good old Monken. It's like, like there's those coaches where you're just like, wait, he coached that team when? Like Denver, like you just remind me Nathaniel Hackett coached your team. I was just like, I was all like, it was Vance Joseph and then Sean Payton, and then I was like, oh yeah, there was that 1 year with Hackett and stuff. Like, oh,
yeah,
that did exist. Like, I totally forgot that existed. Like, that's how some coaches go, where you're just like, oh wait, that's what happened, and it's like, yeah, you had that coach for a little while and stuff. So,
but for a lot of different people, a lot of different coaches, life comes at you fast. And we covered Detroit Lions bringing in Drew Petzing for the offensive coordinator position, but a former head coach turned back into a coordinator. Green Bay brings in Jonathan Gannon, former Arizona Cardinals head coach, to become their new defensive coordinator. This was a defense that had a lot of things going well for it, right? Especially with Micah Parsons around. They lose Micah Parsons. Defense kind of goes in the tank. But if Parsons comes back relatively healthy, it will be some time. They're not going to have him for the first few weeks because it was an ACL tear. And then you'll have a ramp-up period. But, like, if he's able to come back and hit the ground, they look pretty well set up. And Gannon wasn't a bad DC. Like, he wasn't bad.
He's a good DC.
It's just he could not get the job. He could not find the right person on offense. And we'll see. We'll see how that one goes.
Do you remember that Hard Knocks clip where he's like, who rode the bus today?
Yeah.
Did you ride the bus? Did you feel the fire in your belly? Like, that's when I knew. I was like, this guy's not good. If my manager at work started to be like, Chase, you rode the bus today? You got that fire in your belly? I'll be like, the fuck you talking about? Shut up. I'll be like, some coaches, they try to do like the hardball, like, or like be a quirky individual. And it's just like, it only works for people because if you know Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh, that's how they are. They're just
you have to actually be that. It's hard to just mimic that.
But that's who they are as people. It's not like they put on this, like, when Jim goes home, he's just like, he's like excited to turn on his DVDs of whatever movies he watches, and he's like that. It's not like Jim's like, you're not gonna get Jim on like be any different of a human being. Like Gannon, it just like felt like he was trying to be like this quirky, cool, like the cool guy head coach, and it was just like no one was buying into it, and it was just like yeah. But no, as a defensive coordinator, minus like not paying attention in the Super Bowl when they could have won the Eagles, and he was too busy flirting with the Arizona Cardinals at the time. He's like, no, that's the one thing you got to find out the host city, and you got to find out that host city is going to hire a head coch anytime soon, so that way Gannon don't get distracted. Because thankfully next year it's in LA, and I think both the Chargers and the Rams, unless unforeseen circumstances have happened, they're fine on head coaches. Yeah. Packers do have a great chance to be a Super Bowl contender next year. They have. They have to figure out the offense a little bit, receiver-wise and everything. Defensively, they have the pieces. Like, they have the weapons on defense. They have Xavier McKinstry, one of the better safeties in the NFL. They have a pass rush. They have the tools. I think Gannon's going to like what he has, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when Parsons comes back from injury. But Yeah, no, I like this hire. I like
I
it.
am
I think he's
I
a
am
good DC.
I am super interested to see what Green Bay does this offseason with the running back room because like right now like Josh Jacobs is starting to get up there. Like it is like you can see the decline in different situations. He's not as explosive
Yeah,
as before. He doesn't barrel through people as he did before. It's starting to happen. And they have people on the roster, but like do you trust that person to be RB1 is the situation. And sometimes when you've had the ability to
maybe
lean on a Josh Jacobs, it covers up some of the other issues.
maybe
So,
they sign a complimentary back for
right,
Jacobs. Yeah,
there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options.
maybe if they want to, like an Algier type and stuff like that, where
Really
they
need
just
him to go to. I really need him to go to Denver.
yeah, I know you do, but I'm just saying like Algier is like definitely a guy that could be an every down back in the NFL. We saw it his rookie season. Remember when I told you they're gonna draft Bijan Robinson? You're like, no, they have Algier, and I'm like, yeah, no, they're not passing up on this generation.
I need to have a question with you about that, sir,
Yeah.
because the argument you gave was character, and then a couple years later they go against James Pierce Jr.
They mistimed that. They got a good kid in Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker's a former Georgia linebacker that has not driven over the speed limit and have had a car accident. You know what's fucked up about the situation? Jalen Walker's the Georgia player, and James Pierce is like the Tennessee person. You would have thought if you would have told me like Chase, Atlanta rookie defensive end started going crazy in his car and was just ramming his girlfriend. I'm like, oh, it's Jalen Walker, right? Georgia. And it's like, no, it's James Pierce. I'm like, Tennessee one?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Jalen Walker's a good kid. Yeah, I mean, there's not the fact
So
that he
I
fell to them
for
is
you,
still amazing for them.
so I guess maybe the solution here, if you're Atlanta, is just never have 2 first round picks. Always only pick them one time in the first round.
Yeah, I understood why they did it. They were like, they looked at it where it's like, oh, we can't let this James Pierce guy
Yeah.
fall anymore. And like, they didn't expect him to be this much of a psycho. They just thought, oh, he's a psychopath on the football field. Like, to me, that's like the number one. Like, look, if you're gonna be a defensive end, I need like when I interview you, are you the best? There's other. No, you're off my team. Are you the best? Fuck yeah, I am. Can you beat all the left tackles in the NFL? Yeah, all those guys are bums. Yeah, why are they bums? Man, they just suck. I'm just gonna go and I'm like, my guy. But his tape, no, I don't care. That's my guy right there. He believes he can beat everyone. And stuff, these humble guys, you can't play defensive line and be humble. It's like offensive lineman, bro. I need an offensive lineman with a little bit of like anger to him. I'm like, you're too nice. I don't want you on my offensive line. Like, I don't need a nice guy. I need someone that just is pissed off. Like, come on now. You gotta protect my quarterback.
Well, if there's a guy who is pissed off, it's or allegedly supposedly always pissed off, it's Isaiah Pacheco. But hopefully, one thing that'll make him feel a little bit better is his new offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy. Because if there's one thing that the Kansas City Chiefs did really well from 2018 to 2022, it was run the ball. And they're going to look. It looks like they're going to try to get back to that because bringing in someone like Bieniemy and getting rid of Matt Nagy, that is a situation where it's like we understand what it is we need to do, what we have to get back to try to get back to that Super Bowl, and that is you need to be able to run the ball. And between Kareem Hunt, between Pacheco, they just could not get the job done. And it looks like they're going to be trying to draft or sign. Like they are one of the favorite landing spots, or like the heavily betting landing spots for Breece Hall. But we here
the enemy. It just feels like, and same with Nagy. You have like this rotation of 2 girls, and then like you just felt bad that you left the enemy on red for a while. Like you felt bad about the breakup, so you're going back with her because you're thinking, oh, we had great chemistry before. Why can't we do it again?
I was gonna say, we at least here, True Picks, Tru Offseason, we have the benefit of being able to talk to QB1 for Kansas City, and I was wondering, how do you feel about Eric Bieniemy?
Man, y'all haters, man. He's gonna be, dude. We're so fucking back, man. I don't understand why you guys do not understand how back we are. We are so back, man. Dude, not only is my boy Bieniemy back, but we have a 3rd place schedule. Come on, man. We're gonna win this.
That is true, and I don't
We're gonna win this. We're gonna win this thing, man. And we get to face Buffalo in the regular season where they never beat us, man. This is gonna be great, man. The offense is back, man. Hey, I'm coming back. I haven't won an MVP in a while, John. So I'm coming back, man. Bet your money.
I don't think he's gonna get. I don't think he's not getting an MVP. You have a very good chance of getting comeback player of the year.
I'm getting both, motherfucker.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to do that when you're not gonna play the full season.
No, I'm starting week 1.
I hope that rehab's going well for you, brother.
It's all, bro. I'm already running on the knee, man. Thanks to my Adidas Epaulex shoe that you should buy on Adidas.com today. Come on, man.
I will say it does seem as though.
I already put I'm putting so much money on Mahomes MVP, Mahomes comeback player of the year. Everything is the only person that can thread him is Micah Parsons for comeback player. But other than that, Mahomes, I think I do like the hire to an extent. I just feel it's either going to be a really good hire or it's just going to be more of the same that we've seen from the Chiefs. Because let's keep in mind that the enemy, they kind of put him in the corner when they brought back Nagy and all that other stuff. And Andy Reid got pissed at him to the point where he just didn't like him anymore and stuff. But the players like him, and Andy Reid's looking at this hey, look, I know everyone's wondering, is Travis Kelce going to be there next year? But the thing is, what you should be wondering is how much longer does Andy Reid have left in the tank coaching? Because as much as Andy Reid, the perfect scenario is I'm just going to stay here till Pat retires. He's getting up there, and he's kind of been looking he's redeemed his legacy. He's one of the greatest coaches I've ever seen. Even before all the success on the Chiefs, he was still one of the greatest coaches I've ever seen. He's a respectable head coach. I have nothing bad to say about Coach Reid. He's one of the Eagles fans may have something bad to say, but I personally don't.
Honestly, division bias aside, that first Kansas City Super Bowl, I actually was rooting for them in the sense of I just wanted Andy Reid to get a ring.
No, I couldn't.
From that, I was I respect Andy Reid enough to be let him get a ring, and then whatever happens. I did not expect, or I was not anticipating that they were going to go on this ridiculous devil worship run. But hey, you live and you learn.
Yeah, no, Andy Reid's a great head coach. So it's more of I can see where Andy Reid's just hey, look, I'm getting tired of dealing with all this other bullshit. If someone else wants to do this, sure. And then I have 8 plays in my back pocket that I can call and stuff. So, Andy Reid, he's getting up there and stuff. And yeah, I think honestly, the Chiefs, they're going to be fine. Third place schedule. Mahomes is going to come back week 1. He's pushing for it, and it's going to happen, whether we like it or not. And if people are going to question, we already know they're going to glaze the fuck oh, look at Pat Mahomes back week 1, ACL injury. Oh, here we go, Jim. They're going to love it and stuff. And that's why if you guys want to just make some money, when they put up the bets, MVP Mahomes, comeback player of the year Mahomes, just put your money down on it now and then be happy when he wins it in February. You know what's messed up, John? Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, right? Yeah. But next year's Super Bowl is on fucking Valentine's Day.
That's true.
Why? Are they adding another game?
I don't think so.
Because
I don't know why it's being moved a week.
No, are they adding another game? That's what I'm saying. Are we getting another game added to the schedule?
I don't know. I don't think so. However,
it's President's Day.
The 15th will be President's Day.
So what the fuck are we doing?
So it will at least be a holiday for those who get President's Day off.
What the fuck are we doing, John?
I don't know. I'm just reporting the news.
No, this is ridiculous. I have to now. You know how many guys are fucking in trouble? Bro, it's Super Bowl on Valentine's Day.
I already told Colleen. She knows.
I was like, yeah, my girl knows too. Yeah.
I was like, you need to understand what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
Hopefully by then, hopefully by this time next year, we are not here in the condo. We are in Gunnison, and it'll be a very nice. It's a 4 or 5 bedroom house, and she'll be able to have RJ's wife and maybe Meg with Bob and a few other women and her mom and her sister. They'll be able to have their own little Valentine's Day thing.
Yeah, while you're just watching. Do you have a really early Super Bowl prediction?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously just gonna say Denver, and I want to say Eagles. I
Oh,
want to say
that's
Eagles.
fun. You know what? Let's ask our good buddy. We haven't talked to her in a while.
Oh boy.
Let's ask Gemini what she has. We haven't talked to Gemini in a minute. You know, maybe it's just like she's sad or something, but let's see what Gemini has to say.
Go for it.
Hey Gemini, do you have an early prediction of who will play in next year's Super Bowl?
Based on some recent predictions, the Seattle Seahawks are being mentioned as favorites for the next Super Bowl, with teams like the Los Angeles Rams, Baltimore Ravens, and Buffalo Bills considered close contenders. However, it's still very early, and things can change a lot before then. Is there a specific team you're curious about?
No, Gemini, just give me your outright prediction. I want you to choose one NFC team, one AFC team right now today that you think will be playing in the Super Bowl.
That's a fun challenge. If I have to make a bold prediction based on current buzz, I'll say the Kansas City Chiefs from the AFC and the San Francisco 49ers from the NFC.
There you go. Great picks, Gemini. Thank you so much. And Gemini, who's your favorite football team?
As an AI, I don't have personal preferences or teams I root for, but I can tell you which teams are popular or highly rated. Is there a specific team you're interested in?
Gemini, I thought I told you you're a Cleveland Browns fan. You love Shador Sanders. Come on, man. How excited for you about your new head coach of your Cleveland Browns?
I understand. While I don't have personal fandom or excitement, I can see why Browns fans would be excited about new leadership and the potential for the team. Is there a specific aspect of the new head coach you're particularly interested in?
Are you interested in Shador Sanders? Do you think he's going to do good next year?
Shador Sanders is definitely a highly discussed prospect. Many analysts are watching his transition closely, and there's a lot of speculation about his potential impact. It'll be interesting to see how he performs next year. Are you a fan of his play style?
Oh, Shador's one of the best QBs in the NFL, Gemini. You know this, man. Come on. Like, yes, I'm a fan of Shador Sanders, one of the GOATs.
It sounds like you're really confident in his abilities. It's always exciting to see players you believe in perform well. We'll have to see how the season plays out.
Well, Gemini's prediction, Chiefs, 49ers, and I will put money on that for sure. That sounds like fun. You know, I'm going to see how much is a Shador Sanders jersey. I feel like I could get one.
Probably.
You know, that'd be nice. That'd be a cool gift. You can give me a Shador Sanders. You can even give me a T-shirt, like a Shador Sanders T-shirt. You know, where it says Sanders on it, and I'll be like, "Oh shit!" You know what I'm saying?
But there's a team that coming out of the Super Bowl were arguably one of the other winners of Super Bowl Sunday, that is the Las Vegas Raiders, because the announcement came through that they are hiring former Seattle offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, son of Gary Kubiak, former Broncos head coach, and overall part of that Shanahan coaching tree, to be the new head coach for the Raiders. If you are in the AFC West meme war subreddit, there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of hope for our criminal brother and sisters. But how do we feel about Clint Kubiak coming over? And interestingly, what will this mean for Seattle? Because I don't think Seattle has named a new offensive coordinator as
I think Kubiak will do well. I don't know who is. I don't know if he's filled out like his coaching staff yet, or who he's going to bring aboard. But I'm pretty sure he's well connected into the NFL, and he's going to find some good players. He has like, here's the thing for Kubiaks and what they like to run. They need a great tight end. Oh, Brock Bowers, check.
That's weird.
They need an awesome running back. Oh, Ashton Genty, check.
Weird how this works.
And they just need a quarterback that, you know, can function well and be a game manager. Oh, they have one with the first overall pick coming up. Did you hear his interview though? He was like, "Oh yeah, we gotta do our due diligence." And I'm like, "Bro, shut the fuck up. Just say you're drafting Mendoza."
How funny would it be if the Raiders went like Ty Simpson?
Do you know that would be the most could you imagine the Jets are just like, yeah, they're gonna choose Mendoza? With the first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ty Simpson. What the fuck? Quarterback. Hey, you gotta tell Arvell Reese we sorry real quick and stuff. But call his agent right now. Hey, call Mendoza's agent. Call it. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. We're taking Mendoza. No. The phones start ringing. No, we're not trading this fucking pick. Mendoza. Francisco, you there? Oh man, it's such a shock. What a great atmosphere this draft is. Isn't it awesome? Ty Simpson just got selected with the first overall pick. All glory to God for him. I'm so happy for Francisco. It's okay. You're gonna be a New York Jet. Is that cool? Oh, thank you so much. This is such a blessing. I always just wanted to play football in the NFL. Didn't think I'd make it. Yeah. You can do your promo afterwards and stuff. We'll talk to you soon. I can't believe the Raiders just select Ty Simpson. They didn't tell us they were gonna do this shit. Like, oh my god, the real
question is what is Fernando Mendoza's reaction once he hangs up with the Jets?
Man, this is great. I'm going to New York City. It's a big city. Wall Street.
No. It's like nobody else is around. There's no cameras on.
No, that's how he is, though. Like John, like Fernando Mendoza is who he is. Like it's not like he's not like this type of guy where it's like who he is. Like it's not a gimmick. Like I truly believe this is how he is. Like he's not like I could just see him being like, wow, this is exciting. Instead of gambling with money inside the slot machines, I can gamble money at Wall Street now and stuff. And such a financial, it's like New York would be like the Mendoza playground and stuff. But I like this hiring because Kubiak pretty much has everything on offense except like the offensive line's kind of a little bit beat up. But other than that, I think he's going to do well with the Raiders. I think he's going to show it's going to be like how we saw Kellen Moore in New Orleans this year, where it was they're going to be scrappy next year. The Raiders, they're going to be a very scrappy team. I think they have the third most cap space coming into this upcoming offseason. Like they're going to have a lot of cap space because and not a lot of players to re-sign too. Like they pretty much can like get some good players coming their way.
Number 2
via offseason. Yeah. So yeah, they have like who has the most?
Titans 100. So Titans have 104 million. The Raiders have 91 million. Then the plucky, scrappy Chargers have 83 million.
And then once we cut Mekhi Becton's fat ass, then it's gonna be 93 million. Fuck yeah, get him off my team. Can't believe I was excited for that bum. Like a lot of cap space to work with, and the Raiders. The one thing is they have a roster of guys where it's just like they don't have to pay that much money to and stuff. And then, interesting enough, they have a great trade piece in Max Crosby. Like they want to trade.
Yes.
Like honestly, if like they sit down and they say like, "Hey, what do you want, Max?" Like I know we just give you this extension. Teams are going to trade a good haul for Max Crosby. You're going to get return on your value from the Max Crosby thing, and then that's just more value. I don't expect a Max Crosby trade to happen until
I think it's probably much closer to draft night.
Yeah, because I think like there's probably something in his contract where there's because there's like certain like deadlines when like certain players are owed money or it counts towards your cap. Mm-hmm. Crosby's deal could be where it's like, oh, if you trade him on draft night and stuff. So yeah, like I could totally see it where it's like, they get something from Max Crosby. You lose one of the best pass rushers and one of the best run stuffers in the NFL. But hey, guess what? Like this is Kubiak's team, and I think they're going to be patient with him, and then especially with the rookie quarterback in Mendoza, second-year Ashton Genty, third-year Brock Bowers. That's a trio teams dream about. Like when Madden comes out this year, that's a team where I'm like, yeah, fuck you, Clint Kubiak. I'm the head coach, and I'm going to build those goofballs up into my Raiders franchise. Like that's like a great trio of nucleus on offense. You just got to find a wide receiver for them that will like. Maybe Jack Betch ends up being the guy. Maybe Dante Thornton breaks out. Maybe there is something to this Trey Tucker, or maybe we talked about this before. We made there's rumors Crosby the Philly. Maybe AJ Brown. And Mendoza. Like they get it up like, and Mendoza likes AJ Brown's competitive spirit, and AJ Brown likes it. Like doesn't AJ Brown scream like how like back in the old days when we were watching football in the 2000s, it was like. You're a great wide receiver, but then like you fell off and then you just went to the Raiders. And then it was just like, you either were like, okay, like Randy Moss, TJ Hushmanzada, all these guys just went to the Raiders. Doesn't AJ Brown just scream Raiders? Like you just look at him and it's just like, yeah, that's an Oakland Raider. That's a Raider right there.
It is funny though, because like that, they tried that with Antonio Brown And then Antonio Brown was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm not.
He was like, I don't like this gimmick. This gimmick sucks.
But
Get me out of here.
it's just like he and AJ Brown both kind of head cases, so we'll see how that one works.
Yeah,
out.
no, but yeah, no, I think it's a great landing spot for Kubiak, and once he builds up his staff, I think it sucks for us because now it's another good competitive head coach in the NFL and stuff. So yeah, no, everything that he wants, he has and stuff, and like that's why when Patriots fans were so mad, oh, I can't believe Brady said he doesn't have a dog. Yeah, he's trying to freaking recruit the offensive coordinator on the other team, you idiots. What do you want Brady to say? Yeah, go Patriots. And then Kubiak's like, and then Mike McDonald pulls like come on, man. Did you not hear the owner of the team or the partial owner? He pretty much rooted against you. And then Kubiak's like, yeah, you're right. Just stay here one more year. There's going to be other opportunities.
Run it back.
Yeah. And then later on, he's like, yeah, Genty's not that cool anyways. Brock Bowers is pretty badass. No. Clint, come back. We have AJ Barner. But he's not Brock Bowers. We have AJ Barner. And he's like, and then Kubiak's thinking,
just repeated the same
thing. Yeah. He's just like, we have AJ Barner. We have AJ Barner. And then later on, he's just like, yeah, it's still not Brock Bowers. Like a Kubiak offense with Genty and Bowers. And with Mendoza, with what he can bring to the table, it's going to be a good offense. It's going to be especially late in the season when teams are just going to be like, we're playing the Raiders, and they're trying to win games for the moral victories. It's going to be like Shuck last year, where everyone's like, oh, rookie of the year. Like, okay, he was good for and you guys know me, I was a Shuck defender. This is good for the last 5 games.
You know, I think if you're the Raiders and you really believe in Kubiak, I would be comfortable like not doing that great this year and being just high enough that like you can make sure you get Jeremiah Smith.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean?
If the Raiders got
I'm putting that like just being good enough where like you can get Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams.
It's like if the Raiders got 4 blue chip talents 4 years in a row, that would piss me the fuck off. I'm putting Mendoza as a blue chip talent.
Think about it. If you're the Raiders, don't get someone's 2026 second and their 2027 first for Max Crosby. And then you potentially have 2 bites at the apple to make sure you can get either Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams, or God forbid, both.
Yeah, because next year's class, it's very quarterback heavy. So there's a chance Jeremiah Smith, even though he is like
would fall.
Yeah, unfortunately, he shouldn't. But yeah, no, there is a chance that Jeremiah Smith is like 4th player taken in the draft. And if you have draft capital with like in the Raiders and you get a good haul for Crosby, you can do that. Yeah, because it's Dante Moore, Arch.
Quarterbacks for next year. It'll be Arch, Dante Moore, Julian Sayin would be eligible. John Mateer.
Oh, he could. Wait, John Mateer is not in this year's draft.
He's available for next year.
Okay. Oh, Sam Levitt's also available. Oh, Mavia from USC. He's also a guy that could.
Dylan Raiola also would be, but like
no, he's gonna stay one more year. He's gonna learn under Dante Moore, and then like his last year in college, he'll do well. Yeah, saying Moore, Arch, Jaden Mabia, he wants to come out. Sellers that will have to come out this year. Levitt, he has one more year. Sorsby is another guy that people were talking about. Like he was the Cincinnati quarterback, transferred to Texas Tech. He has a bunch of people to throw to. And then there's the Indiana kid, Hoover. He was at TCU. He transferred to Indiana and stuff. And so people, a lot of them are comparing him to Mendoza to some extent, where it's like, oh, maybe Cignetti will get something out of Josh Hoover. Like this is Cignetti's thing. Like he just takes quarterbacks that have been okay and stuff. So yeah. And then other dark horses, like you have Noah Fafita. He's like, he's Arizona's quarterback. Hasn't hasn't panned out. Like maybe he's transferred. I don't know. Noah Papita. I haven't checked. Aiden Childs. How the mighty have fallen. Same with Avery Johnson. Jesus. Yeah. No. There could be potentially Moore's for sure first round. Sayings for sure first round. Arch, maybe just because of name alone, he will be first round. So there's 3 right there that are going to be in the first overall, like potential, or in the first round, high first round too. I gotta look up Noah Papita. He could have transferred if he stayed at Arizona. Good for him. But
well, there is, when it comes to Clint Kubiak, there's going to be a new person with the departure of Jesse Minter, who is in charge of making sure that your Chargers are able to stop this revamped offense from the Raiders, and that is Western Michigan defensive coordinator Chris O'Leary, who has been hired to be the new Chargers DC. How do you feel about that one, Mike?
I feel pretty good because he was our DB's coach under Minter. And then he kind of went through what McDonald did, where they just kind of they went down back to college. And at Western Michigan, he made Western Michigan's defense into one of the top 20 sack defenses in the nation and stuff. Like he turned that defense around. And from what I'm hearing from the players, like all the players are excited for him and stuff. So to me, I don't think there's going to be some drop off because I don't know how much of it he is Jesse Minter. But it seems like he's going to be running the same exact thing that Minter was running. And if that means like Derwin James can kind of just be Derwin James and just do whatever the fuck he wants, then I'm cool with that. Because like Derwin James is like, the most positionless player in football. Like no one knows what he is. Like that's what they need to add in Madden. They need to add a position where I can just like make it. Because like I'm so tired of my Derwin James always playing strong safety. Like I don't have to, like, why can't I have it where I can just put, like, just put him in the sub package? No, I don't want to. I do that and it doesn't work. And then he's not in my sub packages. Like, Madden's broken. Like, just make it where I can blind Derwin James wherever the fuck I want. Like, he's one of the best players ever. Please give him a Charger for life. I'll be sad if he ever leaves. Probably top 10 Charger of all time for me, favorite wise.
That's fair.
Yeah, I love him. He's one of my favorite Chargers ever.
But replacing Mike LaFleur as the Rams offensive coordinator, they are bringing in former Commanders offensive coordinator and the guy that I think was a little bit scapegoated for the Commanders 2025 season, Cliff Kingsbury, former Cardinals head coach as well. And so I think now that means we'll be seeing Matt Stafford do bootleg rollouts and running.
This is McVay doing a homie hookup for his good friend Cliff, dude. Like he's like, hey Cliff, you just want to hang out for a season? You want to come back to Los Angeles and just chill in their sun? Hey Sean, that sounds sick. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna do that for sure, man. Like I will say this with Cliff, he will definitely be able to like give McVay like just a little bit more unique offensive Like I think McVay likes having someone that can kind of challenge his offensive mind, and Cliff Kingsbury is a great offensive mind. Like they're like whatever you want to say about Kingsbury, this fool knows how to scheme up shit. Like he just knows how to scheme stuff to make it work. And so I think he kind of brings like a nice mellow toned, and like he will be like someone that will be able to scheme up like a lot of different things for the Rams and kind of like add different.
I'm really interested to see because he uses tight ends. It feels a lot more than McVay does, like as pass catchers. McVay will use them as blockers and like little disguises here and there, but he doesn't want Stafford throwing to them. He wants the ball moving downfield or across.
Exactly, man.
Whereas
we can't be doing this. No,
Kingsbury with Zach Ertz, Kingsbury with Trey McBride, Kingsbury with Zach Ertz again.
Yeah,
like it's so if you've got a Terrence Ferguson shares in Dynasty, Colby Parkinson and Tyler Higbee, they're getting up there on years. Ferguson's the rookie. Well, now he'll be in his second year. It's going to be really interesting.
Cliff, what are you doing? We're not running a tight end spot. Trust me, Sean. This will make it where the safeties will have to bite down, and then we can throw it deep to Puka. No. That's stupid. That's dumb. I already schemed a play where Puka will be wide open 100% of the time. No, Sean, trust me on this one, man.
Imagine Stafford in that meeting. Just like,
hey, man. Hey, can we just figure out how to move the ball past the chains? Shut up, Matt. I'm over here trying to outwit Cliff right now. Sean, I'm trying to tell you, Matt, you like the tight end spot. Yeah, it works for me. Matt, you're not supposed to agree with him. You're supposed to say, I want to throw the ball deep. What the hell? Yeah,
Well,
no, but I also think Kingsbury's like where him and McVay align a lot is the run game. Like they
yeah,
very much like they run certain schemes similar in the run game. So but this is definitely McVay just doing a homie hookup where it's one of his good friends like, hey, look, come be with me. I'll say you did some play call, and I also think for McVay too for certain games where if he's just like, I don't want to call plays. Cliff, I trust you to call the game. And then it's like, okay, cool. And then like when Sean needs to take over, he will take over. And Cliff is not gonna be like, no, Sean, blah blah. He'll be like, yeah, for sure. Like, I think it's a good thing for Sean. Like mostly, like I think it will be like something where it will relieve a lot of the pressures of him having to like be the do-it-all play caller, where he can kind of focus on other things as a head coach to focus on instead of always having to be the one where it's like, I have to call the plays, I have to do this, I have to do that. And he has someone that I feel like he actually like 100% trusts in calling the plays, where it's like, oh, I 100% trust Cliff Kingsbury calling plays for me if I can't call the plays, while I go handle whatever medial task I have to handle as a head coach for this moment in the game and stuff. So I think it's good. I think it's a good one, but definitely a homie hookup. Like get yourself a friend like Sean McVay. Like Sean McVay is just hooking the Cliff. Like he's like, yeah, this is sick. Hey, Sean, we should bring in Johnny. Johnny used to show up to drunk practice all the time, but I didn't care. As long as that's to the wildest scene ever. This guy admitting Johnny Manziel was showing up to practice drunk, but he didn't care as long as he was slinging that rock. I was just like, dude, this Kingsbury's not a real human being, dude. Kyler would pull all-nighters playing Call of Duty, John, and then I would say to Kyler, hey, man, as long as you throw in that rock, I don't care. He would talk about his KD ratio, and I was like, oh, cool. Kevin Durant's in the game. That's awesome, man.
Well, we've got the Miami Dolphins. We covered Jeff Hafley becoming the new head coach, former Packers DC, but they are continuing to become, I guess, Packers light. They are hiring Packers Vice President of Player Personnel, John Eric Sullivan, as their new GM, and they're bringing in the linebackers coach, Sean Duggan, to be their defensive coordinator. So definitely going to be more of a defensive slant on for Miami, but no announcement yet of who the OC is. And maybe that's because they're trying to figure out first what's going to happen with Tua's contract and his status. And the OC is like, well, I need to know who the quarterback is going to be.
Yeah, because you don't want it where it's like the OC has to meet Tua, and then Tua's like, I'm excited to play for you, and the guy's like, yeah, they told me you're gone, bro. Like, it's like it's one of those where it's like, hey, let's see if there's a guy that we can bring in and stuff. But I mean, coaching cycle is still fairly young for OCs and DCs. A lot of OCs being moved and stuff too. So
yeah,
happy the Chargers has theirs. Did you know they went to the Laker game together, Jim and Mike? They went to the Laker game.
Okay. Oh.
It was a pretty cool photo, man.
Okay.
They're courtside. Okay. Better seats than Madison Beer and Justin Herbert. Kind of disrespectful to
that is kind of fucked up.
The power couple of LA.
Are they the power couple of LA?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know. I would say
I gotta see the views on that.
I would say it's the LA quarterback that has a Super Bowl ring before it's the LA quarterback that wants you to, refinance through SoFi. But turning to the New York Giants,
Hot Ones episode has 1.1 million views. I'm just saying it's pretty good.
Turning to the, it'd be great for Hot Ones as a pair, the quarterback and running back of the next team we're about to talk about. The New York Giants have brought in, we talked about the hiring of John Harbaugh, but now they're filling out the roster. They hire Titans defensive coordinator to be their DC, but he's really probably not going to do that much. And they have the Chiefs offensive coordinator and former Bears head coach, Matt Nagy, as the new New York Giants offensive coordinator. That's the part that kind of is a head scratcher for me. The Matt Nagy hiring.
I think they were just trying to do, because Nagy loves his RPOs, and I think you just look at Nagy's history with RPOs and then like quarterbacks with potential. You know, like Trubisky was a high-end quarterback with potential. And that's what Jackson Dart is, a high-end quarterback with potential. Mostly during his time with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss ran like an RPO heavy offense.
Mm-hmm.
Not the most sophisticated. I can understand. Do
It's
I like
just,
it?
Yeah, it just feels weird. It just feels like there were, I don't know. It just feels like there were better options. It just,
I mean, it's John Harbaugh. He's not like Jim yet. Jim realized he's like, I need someone that's just like a nerd to like
yeah.
do the. And John Harbaugh's still like CEO, like I got to control everything. I want this type of offense. I'm going to get a proven guy. And Matt Nagy, he's won Super Bowls like me. We're both winners. Da, da, da. And it's like, okay. And then it's like, what will help Jackson Dart get better? Because, you know, Dart's one of the reasons Harbaugh chose this job. It's like, if you looked at the jobs that Harbaugh was kind of leaning towards, it was the Giants and then the Titans. And what do they have? A young quarterback in place. But then when you look at the age, Dart's younger than Cam Ward. Cam Ward, like, yes, number 1 overall pick, but older.
Mm-hmm.
Dart's not that old. Dart can still develop. There's a lot of great high-end upside to a Jackson Dart. A lot of winning characteristics to Jackson Dart. Yeah, you know, Nagy, and you know, Nagy is also, you know, was in the room helping another high-end potential quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes developed. So, what the way they're looking at it, do we have to like it? No, but are we someone that is just like, oh, you know, like
if it works, it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's one of those kind of situations.
Yeah, it's like a wait and see type of thing. You know, like, and people forget Alex Smith was like kind of like a Jackson Dart coming out of college and stuff. Like, yeah, but he was the number 1 overall pick. But like,
right,
a lot of people were like saying, "Oh, if you can figure out Alex Smith," and
you
know, like Nagy helped Smith have some of the better years, even though he was older and stuff. So,
I mean, all it takes though is getting a healthy Malik Neighbors back, and Neighbors got his injury was really early on in the season, so very good chance he's back.
Yeah, and then if they want to re-sign Wan'Dale Robinson, you know, to keep familiarity, that's something that's also doable. So
and I think Slayton is under contract, but he is also getting a little bit older. I think he's like 29. But yeah. Meanwhile, the Jets have brought in former Colts, Panthers, and Stanford head coach Frank Reich to be their next offensive coordinator, and he really doesn't know who he has on offense, who they're going to be bringing in, what they're going to be doing there. That is a heck of a situation for anybody to be walking into, because I mean, all you really know is that you have you have Garrett Wilson. That's really about it. Because Breece Hall is going to be a free agent. Are they going to be rolling with Justin Fields for another year? Brady Cook's there, I guess. Tyrod Taylor's there, but like, you don't really have anything else. You know, best of luck to Frank Wright. But moving to the Steelers,
his year at Stanford was hilarious. Like, Luck called in a favor. Hey, Frank, can you just coach these kids up? And he was like, sure. I'll just say it. It was like our good buddy Mike McCoy coming back to coach the Titans as the interim.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, yo, I'm just here to chill, bro. Like, I'm not here to develop
a little bit of coin.
Yeah, like oh, cool and stuff. But I think he'll do fine. I mean, Frank Reich, good OC. Like, he's not a bad OC. Like,
it's just more like, what does he have to work with? Like, that's
once he figures out, like, so we signed Malik Willis.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna bring in Trubisky. Sure. Okay.
That could work.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we drafted Nussmeier in the 4th.
Yeah, there's some options. Sure. Like, there are options. It's just like, are the Jets looking to really start the rebuild this year, or are they looking to really start the rebuild next year? Like, that's it. Once the front office and Aaron Glenn figure out the answer to that question, then everything else will kind of fall into place. But a team that has a lot of questions to figure out because of this massive change, historical change, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin retires, and now they bring in Mike McCarthy to be the new head coach. That was made official a few weeks ago. But this feels like a legacy hire it feels like just sort of similar to the Jesse Minter hiring in Baltimore, where it's like we need somebody to kind of guide us out of being under a Harbaugh for all this time. McCarthy has like just that pedigree. He has that history. He has like the knowledge to take it like the Steelers and continue, like keep the wheels rolling while starting to maybe add in some new things and kind of get the team a little bit more prepped for an actual new head coach. But then again, this is the Steelers, and they have a habit of not firing head coaches.
Bro,
so we could be dealing with it.
In my time as a football fan, it's been Tom. God, why do I always get his name mixed up? The guy that does CBS. It's been Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin for my time as a football fan. That's all I've known. I cannot picture a world where Mike McCarthy's only here for 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it could easily be a situation where they just fall into Mike McCarthy for like 10 years, 10, 12 years. That's like,
bro, like Mike McCarthy is like coaching tenure. It's just like, damn, bro, like this guy, like for head coaches, Packers, Cowboys, and Steelers, like what a run. Super Bowl ring out of it.
Three of the most famous franchises, two of the most famous franchises in the NFC, and now one of the most famous franchises in the AFC.
Yeah, no, I think I know people like to poo-poo it, but McCarthy's a winner. Whether you like him or not, he's a winner. And it's like he's a winner. Like what there's nothing more I can say. Does he choke in the playoffs? Yeah.
Sure.
But he can get you there. And that's
what's the thing you and I have been harping on? All you need to do is get there. You just got to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, you never know what could happen once you get there. So it's just like he's a winner. He's a good head coach. He's not horrible.
I'm very interested to see who if Rodgers resigns or Rodgers stays, like what that situation is going to be like. I know they have the Ohio State kid Will Howard on the roster as a rookie this past year, but could they look to draft somebody to be the competition for Howard to be Rodgers' successor? Who knows?
There's a reason why I said Steelers, because I guess Mike McCarthy loves Kyler Murray. Like that's like his favorite quarterback and stuff. Like he absolutely loves Kyler Murray and stuff. So like that's why I'm like, could it be where he's like, oh, I finally get my guy. I get the kid I've been wanting to coach, and Kyler's just like happy to be a new scenery, and then Kyler just has DK Metcalf if he's not punching fans to throw to. So
yeah. A team that has a lot of turnover at this position, the Philadelphia Eagles, have hired Packers quarterback coach Sean Mannion as their offensive coordinator. This just feels really head scratchery. I don't know what the hell's the exact decision making there is. Sean Mannion was offensive assistant for the Packers in 2024, quarterbacks coach this past season. I don't really know what level of input he had on the offense for an offense here in Philadelphia that needs actual change and needs new kind of thoughts. It's just feels weird that their coordinator is a guy that, because I have a 2-year-old version of Madden, I could still, if I started a franchise right now, sign as a backup quarterback. It just feels weird.
Yeah, he literally just started coaching too. It's like that's the thing. Like I know he's been a reliable, backup quarterback. Like he's been backing up for a lot of teams, and he's been around some of the best minds. Like he's been around McVay, and he was around Kevin O'Connell for many years and stuff, and then studying under Matt LaFleur. Like that's really good, offensive minds to learn under. But then it's like Sirianni, I just don't know what he is sometimes as a head coach. Is he a play caller, or is he like a CEO type? Like I don't know where he's at as he's a great head coach, Sirianni. I'm not going to discredit him. He's one of the winningest head coaches of all time. It's just this Mannion one. What are you trying to bring to the table with Sean Mannion? As now the offensive coordinator, when he doesn't have a history of calling plays whatsoever. So it's a very interesting hire. For all we know, maybe Mannion is just genius or something. Maybe Sirianni, he sees something in Mannion that we don't.
Yeah.
This one is definitely I'm not a fan of the hire, but it's more wait and see.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the 49ers bring in former Falcons head coach Raheem Morris to be their next DC to replace George Saleh, who we will be talking about in a couple teams. But, Raheem Morris, not a bad DC. You could argue he just really didn't have a lot of talent to work with in Atlanta, and that's part of why their defense was so terrible. He had, Jesse Bates? They did bring in Jesse Bates, but, and they had, I think, Caden Ellis. Yeah, Caden Ellis. But there really just was not a lot there I'm in the middle of a franchise for the Falcons, and it started in 2024. So I had Penix as a rookie, and that defense was absolutely abysmal. So I mean, hey, the Niners have a lot more defensive talent. There's a great chance that Morris works out as a good DC for the 49ers and gets another head coaching job, head coaching opportunity down the road. Any thoughts on Raheem Morris going to the Niners?
Oh, he's a great DC. So I think it's a great guy Shanahan's very familiar with, battling with him when he was like the Rams DC. He's going to do the same great job as Saleh. He's going to do a good job with that defense. He has players that fit his scheme. Yeah, no, he's going to do great. He's going to have a healthy Nick Bosa, healthy Fred Warner. He's a great DC. It's just a head coach. Like he can't be a head coach anymore. Like he's failed 2 times as a head coach, and it's not
the question. The question there is just like, can the Niners stay healthy? That's really bad. Tampa, speaking of Falcons, they bring in the Falcons OC Zach Robinson to be their new offensive coordinator. Listen, Zach Robinson, I think he's going to, unfortunately, potentially catch a lot of flack because Todd Bowles is sort of holding that team back at this point. But from the perspective of the offense, you're going from middling quarterback play plus really great offensive talent to really great offensive talent and much better than average quarterback play. So from that standpoint, things are looking up for Zach Robinson. Like now you have, you may have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I mean, Evans has to re-sign, but Evans, Godwin, McMillan, and like Buka, Cade Otton, Bucky Irving, potentially Rashad White if he resigns, Sean Tucker, and Baker Mayfield being the engine. That's got to be great for Zach Robinson. How do you like the hire of Robinson for Tampa?
I like it. He fits with the lot. Like he's a steady offensive coordinator, and that's what kind of like Tampa Bay needs is just a steady offensive coordinator, but also one that doesn't change up too much of what like Tampa already likes to run on offense. Because the problem with Tampa has just been like they've been getting pillaged of their offensive coordinators for years. Like they had something with Leftwich, and then Leftwich kind of regressed, and then he went down to like I think he went to coach like Texas State or something like that, like as the OC over there. Then Dirk Cutter really did an amazing job with them, and then he goes on to become the no, was it Cutter? Canales. Canales did a great job. And then he went on to become the head coach of the Panthers. And then Cohen did a tremendous job. And then he fucked over the Buccaneers to go to the Jaguars. And then whoever was the OC this year just didn't really develop it that well. While with Zach Robinson, you kind of know what you're going to get with him as an OC. He's a good play caller. So yeah, no, I like this move a lot for them. I think he doesn't do too much different of what they already run and established. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I was just looking at interesting. They've brought in, speaking of Callahan, it wasn't listed there on the website I was looking at, the Fox Sports, but he's going to be the Giants quarterback coach and passing game coordinator. That'll be interesting. But speaking of the Titans, the reason why the Niners had to bring in Raheem Morris is because Robert Saleh has taken the job as the new head coach for the Titans, and filling out his staff, he is bringing in former Giants head coach Brian Daboll to be the offensive coordinator, and he is bringing in former Jaguars head coach and current Niners assistant coach Gus Bradley to be the defensive coordinator. So a lot of experienced talent to try to help Cam Ward get better, try to help that defense get better. A lot of options for Tennessee with the fourth overall pick. There's a lot of potential there. How do you feel about Daboll and Gus Bradley? Because I think Saleh we sort of covered. It is what it is kind of with Saleh. We need to see like has he fully figured out what it was that went wrong in New York, because it was a lot of comedy of errors, but like Daboll and Gus Bradley, those are a lot of like that's experience you can also lean on if you're Robert Saleh.
Yeah, Bradley I like too, because I think him and Saleh, they have the same belief when it comes to defense. I'm very familiar with Gus Bradley. He was one of the better Chargers defensive coordinators for us. And so there's times where Gus Bradley, it's like, hey man, you got to just stop blitzing and stuff, and you got to stop playing deep zones. But other than that, I think they kind of mesh well with each other as defensive minds, and I think it's going to be a good defense. But bringing in a guy like Daboll, who is very hands-on with the offense, and the one thing with Daboll is this: he's been in the process of looking at the quarterbacks. We saw from the offseason with the New York Giants of how much he was looking at these quarterbacks and Drake May and Cam Ward. And so, like, Daboll wouldn't take this job if he didn't think it was an interesting prospect of, like, hey, I get to coach a guy like Cam Ward, who I think highly of, and, hopefully unlock a potential in Cam Ward. Because, Daboll, Daboll pounded the table for Jackson Dart and believed in him because he's like, hey, we need a quarterback if you want me to win and stuff. And so they ended up giving up on Daboll, and now he gets, a guy that he looked at the draft process. He felt highly about Cam Ward. Like, they were talking about potentially trading up, maybe trying to get a Cam Ward or a Drake May in that situation, but they felt it was just too much of an asking price to, make those type of trades at that time. At that time. So it's like, Cam Ward, like, it's a guy that Daboll was interested in for sure. And what's it called? In this previous draft, and he ended up going with Jackson Dart instead of Cam Ward. Well, he had no choice. Cam Ward was going to be the #1 overall pick and stuff, and the Giants weren't going to trade up for him and stuff. So they went with another. Who did they draft first before Jackson Dart? I can't even remember. But must have been
shit.
Yeah,
the defensive guy.
Oh yeah.
Not Ahmad. Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter, yeah. Had more pushes on Monday Night Raw than he did on the field. Great pass rush rate, though. Great pass rush rate. Missed on that one for sure. I thought he was going to be a stud. But yeah, no, like he's done his due diligence. Like he knows Cam Ward really well. So it's just like,
it is interesting because, like, speaking of Abdul Carter, right now at 104, which I want to get into in a sec, they have the Titans take a Reuben Bain Jr. But with all of those new coach hires and kind of shuffling arounds of the old coordinators, let's take a look at how FanDuel is anticipating, or how Vegas anticipates, the conferences shaping up. So right now, the best odds to win the conference goes to the Baltimore Ravens plus 550. Then you've got the Bills at plus 550. Then the Chargers at plus 700. The Patriots at plus 750. The Chiefs at plus 750. That's annoying. And then the Broncos at plus 950. Those are our top 6. And then everybody else after that is in 4 digits for winning the AFC. And then on the NFC side, the Seahawks are plus 400. The Rams are plus 450. Jumps to 700 for the Packers, 800 for the Eagles, 800 for the Lions. And then we get into the 4 digits for everybody else. So it looks like, at least on paper, Vegas is saying that the NFC is going to be a lot tighter, lot tighter with these top teams. And that's going to be fun to see and figure out. They are projecting at least the most highly favored winner of the Super Bowl for next year is the Seattle Seahawks at plus 750. Then the Rams at plus 800, Ravens and Bills. And that leaves us with the MVP odds right now. Top MVP odds plus.
Man, I'm plus 1100. Yeah, bet on me, man. Fuck this.
Plus 600 for Josh, plus 750 for Lamar, plus 850 for Drake May. This is so annoying. This goddamn Drake May bullshit.
While John was talking, I was looking at my sports book and I saw the Mahomes odds. I got him at plus 1200 just now. So thank you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Borrow at plus 1,000, plus 1,100 for Herbie. Yeah, that's annoying as hell, man. Especially this Drake May shit. Like, come on, man. He's now gonna have to.
Man, who the fuck is he, man?
Like, that's ridiculous. Like,
I just Googled him and nothing popped up.
But before we get out of here, let's turn and look at the newest or most recent Tankathon. Now, granted, a lot of this is going to change with free agency. One thing that won't change is that first overall pick being Fernando Mendoza. But the rest of this does look interesting. They got Carnell Tate going to New York, Reuben Jr., like I covered before, going to Tennessee. Caleb Downs going to Washington. That's going to be interesting to me because Washington, like they are an under the radar bounce back candidate, considering how like just
Yeah.
a lot of people have forgotten about them because of the Jaden Daniels injury. I am interested to see how Jaden Daniels recovers without Cliff Kingsbury. That's going to be interesting to me. Like they just elevated David Bluff, and I'm like, that sounds like just a name that you pulled out of a phone book. But that Jeremiah Love going to the Saints.
Oh man.
That one, Kamara is not going to be not that long for the world. Jordan Tyson going to the Rams with that Falcons pick. That is, dude. I mean,
That's annoying.
Could you imagine Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp,
And then a rookie Jordan Tyson just learning? Yeah, annoying.
And just Cliff Kingsbury working with those, like that's annoying as hell. Kenyon Sadiq, I don't know if I think this is a little bit artificial inflation because like I don't think tight ends are going to go this high. I know he's a highly touted prospect, but he's not. I don't think he's a 15th, like basically halfway through the first round. But I also don't know if he would go to Tampa Bay. Like that feels a little weird. Like they do have Kate Otten, like they do have options there, and they definitely need defense before they need tight ends. Mekhi Lemon, that one's kind of fascinating to the Jets with the
honestly, Tyson Lemon. I think they're going to get drafted much higher. I think they're going to be teams that will trade up to get, because I do think there's a lot of love for these wide receivers. Like Caleb Downs at 7. We've seen this with other top safeties. Kyle Hamilton went down to 14. Derwin James at 17. I will not be surprised if Caleb Downs is, and he should be a top 10 pick. I bet he's the best player in this draft class. It's not even an argument. He's the best player in this class. It's just unfortunately he plays a position where it's not the most valuable, which is safety. Yeah. And so I could see it where it's like if a team like say New York goes Cardinal Tate, Spencer Pernod, I haven't heard a lot of people like raving about him as an offensive tackle prospect. I could actually see him going down to maybe like the Chiefs at 9, Bengals at 10 and stuff. I can see this where it's like at 6, the Browns, their number 1 is Jerry Jeudy. Hey, you just hired an offensive coordinator. Their offensive line is not horrible, the Browns. Why don't we go with the Mekhi Lemon, the Blintekoff winner? Or we can go with, Jordan Tyson to be wide receiver 1 to Shedeur Sanders. And then you have a team like the Saints that are like, hey, why don't we get Olave insurance and we can get Mekhi Lemon? Or maybe that's too much of a redundancy and stuff because Lemon and Olave and stuff. But like I could definitely see it where there's going to be a run at wide receivers. Like I could see it where like Mekhi Lemon doesn't make it to 16, neither does Jordan Tyson at 13. Like I don't know. I think it's just like the receiving class this year, it's solid, but it's not like
not deep.
Yeah, it's like
super deep.
Yeah, it's like the top 3 or the top 3, and then the rest are like if you can get them in the right schemes, you'll do well with them. But yeah.
The Ty Simpson is going to continue to be mocked like forever and ever to the Steelers in that first round.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets take him at 16.
Oh, the Jets? That wouldn't surprise me either. Don't not surprise me either. But see, here's what's interesting. They have the Browns taking Denzel Boston with that other pick. So maybe they are willing to wait and see like, hey, we'll figure out like who falls to us at that 24.
Yeah, like Caleb Lomu, a lot of people like Panal's teammate. A lot of people like him. Like they say that he feels like a more prototypical NFL tackle and stuff. Like Caden Proctor, most teams are looking at tackle, kick him inside guard and stuff. So like that's how they look at Caden Proctor and stuff. Or, like a guy like Anthony Hill Jr., who I think you would like, he's tremendous, and I think he would do well no matter where he goes, and he would be fitting of the BPA best player available. Like he's better than Caleb Banks. He's better than Caden McDonald. Like I would take him at 24 and stuff. So
I mean, that linebacker, the linebacker position for Denver.
I kind of like where the Chargers are at. If like this draft falls out, it is like Vega Ione would be great. I would like TJ Parker. He's awesome. Caden Proctor would be awesome because he can also play tackle if there's issues. Like I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Anthony Hill Jr. too. If we reach for him, I wouldn't even consider a reach. He's a stud. So
yeah, I'm really I'm like on the fence about how Denver needs to approach this. For one, the first round pick, but two, like particularly the linebacker room, because Singleton, Stranad, and Greenlaw, it's a comfortable mix, and you do have to re-sign
yeah,
Elvis, and you do have to re-sign Stranad, but like I don't know if I want them to be like, hey, it's just a weird situation right now, and I'm like, I want to see how Patton and Peyton work through it, but I'm very intrigued. Where is it? Hold on. I've been hearing a lot about this R. Mason Thomas kid from Oklahoma going
Yeah.
like right now going in the second round to the Bucks. I've been hearing a lot about him, and I've been hearing a lot about Jadarian Price and then Emmett Johnson. Emmett Johnson specifically from the Nebraska, like
Yeah.
looking at 3-down back. That I think is seeing where he goes is interesting, because you know me, like I'm also looking at this from like the dynasty perspective.
Yeah.
We're focusing a little bit more on the offensive players versus the defensive players.
I would love if LT Overton fell to the fucking Chargers. Like if we get him in the second round, yeah, LT Overton. He's currently mocked to us. I would love that. He's so good. Just got mistypecast at Alabama, but he's so good.
But yeah,
I'm surprised Elijah Surratt is not higher up on some draft boards. I liked him from Indiana and stuff. But where's my guy from Alabama, the wide receiver? What was his name? Chris Bell. Chris Bell's only this in the second round. He might go in the first round. Chris Bell, to be honest. Scroll down. Oh God, what's his name? Kobe Prentice. Where's Kobe Prentice at?
How do I spell the last name?
Prentice.
I don't think he's
I
it.
don't think it's Kobe. He has to be in this Kobe.
You said he's Alabama?
Yeah, Kobe.
I'll do this. Alabama.
Prentice.
Jeremy Bernard, Overton, Deontay Lawson, Tim Keenan III, and Parker Brailsford. He is not currently mocked so far in the first 4 rounds.
Is it? Am I thinking of Kobe Prentice, or is it? Oh, Bernard. Yeah, Bernard. Bernard's my guy.
Jeremy Bernard.
Jeremy Bernard.
He is currently
I got him confused.
second round to.
Yeah, no, I like Jeremy Bernard. That's Jalen Coker's replacement. Sorry, Jalen Coker, off the team.
Oh, cokeheads everywhere are going to be upset about that.
He's a free agent, Coker, though.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's not on a long-term contract.
Wait, hold on.
Coker should be a free agent.
Because he was an undrafted free agent. Oh, Jalen Coker, you are a Denver Bronco.
I was going to say
any wide receiver, and I'm like, you are a Denver Bronco.
I think Coker's good, man. I like him.
But one thing I do like about Surratt is the idea that he's supposed to be an outside boundary guy. And I want an outside boundary guy for.
That's why I'm surprised Surratt's not going higher, because like I think he showed me enough where I'm like, yeah, no, this guy's like borderline first round talent. Like I think Elijah Surratt's a great talent.
Yeah, but we shall. So I think here's going to be our coverage going forward on Tru Offseason as we build towards the draft. I think you and I will cover maybe a few of the standouts from the NFL Combine, and like anybody that kind of pops a rating, to use a wrestling parlance. And then we'll get into when free agency happens. We'll do like a little free agency recap, and maybe like right before the new year, right before the NFL New Year, we'll do like our kind of like best free agents and where we think they should go, kind of thing. And then we build towards the draft. But what we will be doing starting next week, Chase and I are going to be clocking in.
We're clocking in. We're
going to be having season 1 recap of The Pit, and then we'll be going episode by episode. I know what you are alluding to.
I was crying.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But speaking of doing show and movie recaps and reviews ahead of Scream 7 coming out, Sid and I are doing a Scream review series. We finished the first Scream, and we will be picking up with Scream 2.
I was going to do Scary Movie.
Oh, we should. We should.
I mean, it's technically a Scream movie. I mean, it's Scary Movie is a Scream. You just Scary Movie 1. You don't have to do two, but it's a parody of the Scream movie.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's a great. I recently rewatched Scary Movie 3. I forgot how funny that movie was. I was just like,
The whole series is hilarious.
no, Scary Movie 4's ass. It's just
Man.
1, 2, and 3. 1, 2. That's my good. That shit gets me every time. It's my strong. No, Scary Movie 3. I forgot how funny that movie was. I was just like, yeah, let me watch it. I'm like, bro, this movie's fucking hilarious. Like, I was like, I was laughing so hard at some of the jokes, and I was just like, Kevin Hart's in this movie. I totally forgot he's in this movie and stuff. I'm like, Scary Movie 3 is fucking hilarious, bro.
But yeah,
Movie 2 is my favorite though. Two is the best.
We've got that coming up. We've got Chase and I doing our clocking in series for the pits. There's a lot we're going to be covering, a lot we're going to be doing here.
Can't fucking wait talking about Dr. Roby, my goat.
Oh man,
I think this role, he's no longer Dr. Carter to me. He's Dr. Roby. Like, it's just, like, this role, like, I like this role better.
Replace the ER role.
Yeah, I think he's replaced the ER role pretty well. Like, Dr. Roby's such a goat and stuff.
Definitely.
Like, it's honestly
seeing Whitaker really become like the tribal chief in training is just in this season is just awesome.
Yeah,
he really does fit like what Robbie is looking for in like a protege or like a spiritual successor.
What I like about the season, it's kind of been like a slower pace season. Like, we haven't really figured out what went down with the one hospital, like with Westfield, why it's shut down and stuff. But I do find it like interesting, some of the character. But yeah, no, I think the theory, like you said, Dr. Roby is getting hurt.
Here's the thing: now they're starting to become a little heavy-handed with it.
I think maybe.
So now I'm like, okay, are they taking us one way to swerve us somewhere else?
Do you want to hear my swerve theory? I think they're gonna have Landon be so upset because Dr. Roby won't forgive him. He will steal Dr. Roby's bike and then get in an accident. And then Landon, and then that's where Dr. Roby finally forgives him because like Dr. Roby, it's like he's so excited about this trip, something has to depress him before this trip, and where he can't and what will depress him more than his bike gets destroyed, and then he never really got to give a properly forgive one of like a guy that he viewed as a best friend, and that's stuff, true. And then he loses another person that he like is like that he cares for, that he does care for and does love and stuff, because like they're doing a lot of like they're like, because Landon, like, he's kind of like, and it's like I don't know, the way they're writing Landon's like he's getting written off, like that's how I feel like about the way Landon's being portrayed. Like, it's just like a lot of it just feels like he's like either gonna get shot or something, like something bad's gonna happen to this dude. Like it
is a like a redemption arc for him for sure. I think he has to have two conversations, right? He has to have the conversation with Santos and he has to have the conversation with Robbie.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if, to your point, like if something were to happen, they make us miss one of the conversations. Like, that's kind of like because like I think one of the things about the pit that is so good is that similarly to real life, there are just things that happen and there's no resolution. There's no there's no like catharsis. There's no cathartic moment.
I think he's not talking to Santos. I think the Santos.
I think it could be the Santos thing.
Yeah, because Santos, they're writing her character like she's stressed. She can't catch up with her charting. She's she's messing up reports and stuff like that. Like, and then she never gets closure for Dr. Landon, and she's the one that burnt Landon out and stuff and whatnot. But I do feel like with that, like I do see something where Landon crashes out. Like, he crashes out and he's like I tried. He steals medication, gets high off of it, and then later on he's like he leaves the thing. He sees Robbie's bike. He's like, fuck this, and then he rides off in the bike, and then all of a sudden, and then later on he's being run back. Dana's all upset, Dr. Roby and stuff, and then later on Dana's like, all you had to do was just apologize to him and accept his damn apology. That's all he wanted. And then like the nurse that Dana's training is just like, fuck am I here for? Like, what is this? And stuff. Like, I could see it where there has to, because I feel like it's like Dr. Roby, he's like the dude of the show. Like we can't kill him off. Like then why
Yeah,
you watch the show? You know, like it wouldn't be it'd be too soon. But I feel like the way they're writing Landon's character just feels like we're taking him out of this show. Like whether you like it or not. Like I like Landon as a character. I don't hate him. I think he's a good character. It's just the way he's being written and how anxious his character is. It's just like you getting written off. Like it just feels like you're getting written off.
This whole time, I never really felt that much sympathy for him. But then the most recent episode where he was talking to Dana, and he's just like, "Yeah, nobody really reached out over the past 9 years." I was like, "Damn, nobody."
Yeah,
because then
that's why
from the perspective of the person going through it, you're like, are any of these people actually my friends, or is it just like because like sometimes in situations it is just a coworker, right? Like it is just somebody you work with. Like there's plenty of people when I left the company that I was with, and it was part of like the downsizing, all that kind of stuff because of the merger that was happening. A couple people said they'd reach out. Nobody ever really did.
Yeah.
And so like I was working, like I was like pretty high up in this corporate office, and I'm like, so was it really just coworkers, or was it just like the people? So I can absolutely understand Langdon's perspective of like, damn, these people but he still has to work with them.
One of the reasons, like, so even when I had my office job, I worked retail at Kohl's every season was because I worked at Kohl's on and off, and I know when former coworkers came in, managers didn't care. People came in, they were just like, it was just another, oh yeah, you used to work here, face cut. I came in and it was like, oh great, Chase, how's it going? Like talking to me, and I'm like, bro, we just worked a retail job together. But like these people actually genuinely would like wish me happy birthdays, reach out to me and so there are people that I do consider. I know a lot of people say, oh, work is work, you don't have to be friends with these people, but a lot of the relationships that I formed at Kohl's, these people are what I consider good friends. I'm not saying like, oh, like we hang out all the time. I understand when we're adults, there's other priorities besides hanging out with your friends and stuff. But like, I know they reach out to me and they check in on me when things are going on in my life and stuff. Like, like when I posted an Instagram story one time, like I was just like so fed up with like, I have health conditions, so I was fed up with it. One of my old managers messed from Kohl's. Like I have other old managers from other jobs that I follow me on Instagram and that I thought I was close with, but the Kohl's managers, they all respond to that story. Chase, you good? Chase, blah blah blah. Hey Chase, come in the store, come kick it to talk with us if you need to talk. And it's like, damn, these people are like generally like good people that actually, like they actually care about me and they're excited to see me as a person compared to like they see like I said, I see a lot of former coworkers come in and they no sell them, like they've never worked there in their lives. Like they just go like, oh, but when I would come in, it would be like a full-fledged, like, hey, I'm stopping what I'm doing. I'm talking to Chase for 20 minutes. If I get in trouble for that, I could care less because Chase is my guy. Chase is my guy type of thing. So that's why I always worked at Kohl's on and off because I was like, hey, these people actually like me as people. Like like I can tell you, like when I worked at the movie theater and I left that place, I thought I was close with this one manager. Next time I saw her when I went to go see a movie, I went to go talk to her. Like we acted like I never worked there. And I was like, damn, so it's like that. I was like, wow. Like I thought we were cool, but I guess we ain't cool no more and stuff. So it's like some people treat you like that. And then you find people in life where it's like they actually are cool. So like, yeah, I can see where Dr. Landon's like, it's depressing for him, where it's just like, dude, like you're literally doing like the right things. You're trying to atone for something that is horrible. Like it is horrible what you did, and you were an addict to it, and you're trying your best. And sometimes forgiveness, it doesn't always come. Like people aren't always easy to forgive, and especially when it is something like that, where like that's a big judgmental of character and stuff. Like you stealing from a patient and you doing all this, like getting high off medications, and you had a problem, and not only did you get sent home, but then like at the end of season 1 you still came back to help and stuff, and like you weren't forgiven. You just came in and you broke orders. Like, yeah, Dr. Roby has a reason to still be upset at Landon at this. Like he has no reason to forgive Landon as a human being. Like there should be no reason for like Dr. Robbie wants to forgive him right now. And then Landon's trying to push the issue. And it's like, hey, sometimes forgiveness, like it takes time. Like
Yeah, sometimes you gotta let that person on their terms reach, the conclusion that I need to forgive this person.
Yeah, no, I've had it before.
It may never come. It may never, like Robbie may never feel that he and Langdon are in the position where like he is willing to forgive him. You hope he will.
Yeah,
he does, but like it may never happen.
Yeah, like there was an incident that happened this holiday where I lost my temper, and I lost my temper at my boss, who I have much respect for and stuff like that. Yeah. And I thought I was never going to be forgiven. Like I thought it was going to be like, damn, dude, like now it's going to be awkward working for her and stuff. And then she was like, she understood, hey, people have their bad days and stuff, but not everyone's going to be like that. Where they're going to be open to forgiving you and open to, to helping you out like that, or wanting to help you out because you did something to them that's like cardinal sin. I just love how the actor is just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put Dr. Carter in all these characters some way, somehow. They're going to be like my character. Like Dr. Carter was high off drugs, like for a few episodes in ER and stuff. But yeah, I know it's interesting. That's why I feel like they're writing Landon off, because like, it's just like, he's just very like, just like doing stuff where I'm just like, yeah, bro, like you're getting written off, dog. Like something's happening to you. Like something's happening to you. Like one of you is getting written off, and it has to be you, because like when he told Louis, like, oh, I've been stealing your meds, and then Louis like, oh, it's all right, Doug. I never liked them anyways. I was like, damn, what the fuck is it? Why are you telling this alcoholic that you're and stuff like that?
We're gonna get into. We're gonna get into.
Oh man, I was a mess after episode 6, bro. It literally took me 2 hours to debrief after that. Like I was like, man, I haven't cried that hard in an episode since This Is Us
normally, so normally what happens is like you message me on Thursday and be like the pit, and I'm like, something happened. And I'm not usually able to watch it like on time. Like I'm watching it maybe like a day later, something like that with Colleen. But for yesterday, we were at Colleen's parents' place, and so Colleen's sister, her husband, and will come over, and they'll have dinner with the parents, and they'll all watch the pit together. So we were over there for something unrelated, and so my mother-in-law was like, "Do you guys just want to stay for dinner and watch the pit with us?" And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So all of us are sitting there, like there's 6 of us around on these 2 couches watching the show.
Can we just talk about this scene? It's such a heart. I was in shambles, bro. Like that shit broke me.
Listen, okay, before we any further, I already disliked Ogilvy. Now I want that dude to get his shit handed to him. Like I want him to get his fucking shit rocked. When he was just like when Tribal Chief in training, Dr. Whitaker is just like, wait, what happened with Louis? And then he's just like, oh, he croaked. Well, then what the fuck? Like what? How do you just? And Whit's face is just like, what? He's just like he's about to lose it. Oh my god.
Yeah. So you guys don't know. We'll talk about Louis more in the season 1 recap. But Louis is like a side character in season 1. He's more like comic relief. He's just there to make you laugh out of the tense moments that you watch in season 1. He's a regular that goes to the pit. At the start of season 2, if you go back to like one of the playoff predictions, John even says, I hope Louis just is getting his tooth fixed and he gets the fuck on out of there. And I literally go, come on, bro. So Louis goes in, he's getting his usual drainage of his liver, of all the alcohol he drinks and stuff. Yeah. He gets his teeth fixed and stuff. And so at the end of episode 5, there's a patient in the hall. One of them sneaks in beers. And so then later on, Dr. Roby says, I know a guy that probably needs a good beer and stuff. So he grabs a beer. He's looking to give it to Louis, the side character. Comes into the room. Louis pretty much comatose. Landon is like trying to do his best. Everyone's trying to do their best to save Louis because, he's a regular. He comes in. It's just too late. We can't save Louis. So Louis dies in episode 6. And it's really sad because it's just like he's a side character that we grew to love in season 1. Great, you killed off this lovable side character. But they went to go do a debriefing for him. And they were all kind of like talking about their favorite Louis memories. And Landon finds, Of course, one last Louis gag. He puts the pit as his emergency contact. So I started laughing about that. I'm like, fucking Louis. Of course, he put the pit as his
You
emergency
would do
contact.
that,
Yeah. And so Dr. Landon finds a picture of his wife and kid, or his wife, Louis, much younger, with his wife. And so then they're talking about it, and Landon goes like, "Yeah, I found this through his stuff." And then Dr. Roby goes, one day Louis came in and he was talking. He was a little bit loose. He was like a little bit loose, and going through Louis' life, grew up in Pittsburgh, Steelers fan, worked at Parks River, all this other stuff. But then the scene that hurts the most, because they set it up so beautifully, because Dana's training the new nurse how to clean a dead body, take care of it and stuff. And then said like, yeah, you prop him up and you leave one hand open. And she goes, oh, why do you leave the hand open? So that way the loved ones can hold the hand. I'm choking up just talking about it. Can hold it one last time. So then Dr. Roby reveals to us that everything was going good in Louis' wife. He never wanted kids, but then his wife pushed it. And then 1 month before the baby was due, him and the wife and the unborn child died in a car accident, and Louis never recovered from it. And it explains why Louis. But it's so hard to believe that, because Louis was such a fun-loving character, probably drunk all the time, but fun-loving.
The thing is that the show goes out of its way to talk about how, in the first season, it goes out of its way to use Louis to talk about alcoholism and addiction, in essence, and how addiction affects different people. And Louis was, we see in our lives, we see those around us, that addiction can be spiraling, right? Like, it's comparing and contrasting Louis and Langdon. That's the point of what they're doing. And in the first season, and it's the idea of how some people can be functioning, but you'll never understand the pain that has influenced the addiction.
Exactly.
For some people it's genetic. For sure. For other people, there is something that has to like, for example, I may genetically be predisposed to being addicted, having an addictive personality, but if I never actually try the substance or try the thing, I won't become addicted to it, right? But like in Louis' case, he had the genetic predisposition, but there was nothing that was happening that was going to cause him to be addicted to anything, and then it finally did.
Yeah,
and so it's just that undercurrent, like he never reveals it, and then you finally find out what it was that caused him to drink and be like, this is my life now.
Yeah, and then just being a regular at the pit, going there. And then it was sad because the nurse that helped Dana with the bed, he holds his hand the last time. And I was in tears after that. I was just I almost broke on camera talking about it. That's how strong that scene was. What
I really loved about that, though, was that by having it be Emma, this new nurse, you are showing everybody the impact that Louis had, because that was the first time she met him. She only knew Louis for 5 hours, 6 hours, and it was enough, just even from like the human empathetic level, to grab his hand and hold on to his hand. Like, that one teaches you, or shows the viewer the kind of person and character that Emma is, and how the kind of person and character that Louis is, that he had such an impact on her life within such a short time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Louis was, like I said, painted as a comic relief side character in season 1. He's just there to make you laugh during tense moments. He's not there for anything else. It's just like, oh, this guy's hilarious. It's Louis. And then he comes back in season 2. And the fact that, like, I'm explaining the scene and you guys saw me choke up and I held back a little bit, not crying, like, that strong writing, impactful. And the fact that, Dr. Robbie, all he wanted to do was just make Louis feel comfortable. He just wanted to give Louis one last Bud Light, and then he doesn't get that one last Bud Light. It's just like it's so like, and it wasn't like, Dr. Robbie, that just shows how much he cares about his patients too, where he knows, like, hey, it's kind of fucked up for me to give this guy a drink, but he needs it on this day, because Dr. Roby probably knows a lot more about Louis than everyone else in the pit and stuff. And you showed how much, like, even though it's like like, because the pit's filmed differently than other med shows. It's not like it's like, oh, day 1, day 2, we've seen Louis multiple. They film it in like one full 12-hour, 15-hour shift of these doctors' lives. We only knew Louis for what, like 6 or 7 hours last season and stuff, like,
Pretty much,
and
yeah.
stuff. But pretty much like how much he impacted all the other characters. Like, it felt like we've seen him like for 5 seasons, and it was like, oh, where's Louis to come in to break the break the tension and stuff? Yeah, like, no, it really well done scene, really well. It was just sad because it's just like, bro, like that was one of the best characters of the pit, and it's like dang. And then to give a nothing character such an impactful backstory, like you talked about, like talking about this is the dangers of addiction. Like, if you just watch season 1, you just think, oh, this is the loving, joking, funny guy and stuff. But to know that, like, really, this guy's in pain, and the only way he knows how to handle pain is to be drinking all the fucking time, and that's the only way he can feel happy. And this is how he feels happy, like going to the pit every time to get his drain and everything. It's sad, and that's why it's like, hey man, if you guys know people battling through addiction, you got to help them out.
It's a reminder to check on people.
Yeah, exactly. You always got to check on, because like you never know. Like I'll be honest about me, dude. Like I used to be like this is why I'll never take painkillers and stuff, because like I know, like I'm not bad with alcohol or anything like that, but when I tore my bicep in like high school, like I didn't have to do surgery. My doctor was just, oh, it'll heal on its own, and just take these painkillers. I was popping those things like candy, and it was really, really bad and stuff. Like I was like I almost got like expelled from school because I, was high off of painkillers and shit and stuff. And so that's why it's like I'll never do painkillers, because like I know, like, hey, you take them and then all of a sudden you're just like, you feel like a new human being again and stuff. And but they're a horrible addictive thing. And so like I will never take pain. I'll take other medications. Like I have no problem. Like I don't get addicted to the other medications I take, and I take a shit ton of medications. So, but yeah, it was just sad to see and stuff. But it just shows how great the writing of the pit is. It's like you take a joke character, but there's such a deep underlying tone to this joke character that you just don't understand. And then later on, when you understand it, it makes that character feel even more stronger. And it gives season 1 an even deeper rewatch when you rewatch it, because now that you know that Louis had a wife and was about to have a kid, and then he lost it, and it just kind of spiraled him into this bad state. Now, when you watch those Louis scenes, even though they're still funny about him asking for a sandwich and shit, and you're just like, Louis, shut the fuck up. We don't need to. You get what you get. Like, it's just more of like, hey, look, like this guy literally is just like, this is all he has now. He doesn't have anything else. He has his liquor, he has his health issues, and he has to get them fixed. And he's just going to keep going to the liquor store and drinking his problems away, because he has nothing, because like everything else in his life, just sucks for him. Like, he lost the one thing that he really, really loved. Yeah, that kept him going and kept him as a normal person in society and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely. I won't be surprised if that scene or that episode gets nominated for, or is used as like when they show a clip from during the Emmy Awards or something like that.
When Noah Weil wins his second back to back, he wins Best Actor. Yeah, it's you know how good the pit is. Season 2 didn't even appear yet, and they're like, "Yep, back for season 3," and they just knew this would hit. They're just like, and this is a slow season, and it's not even that bad. Like I've seen people saying, "Oh, it's not as good as season." I'm like, guys, bro, it's literally like,
you know what it is. It's people are forgetting. I think people are forgetting that in season 1, until the Pit Fest shooting, it was a slow season.
Yeah, no, it was.
And it ramps up. That's how this works. Like they have to keep building that tension.
Yeah, we got to get to the
thread, and then finally something's now going to happen. Like we will eventually get there to cover it a few weeks from now. But like the lady, the cancer lady, where the husband's kind of weird. Like there's gonna be something there with the bedpan. She can't, like, and she's trying to get the husband out of there. Like there's a lot going on, and you
No,
don't
yeah,
need to
the
have
husband definitely beats her or some shit.
something's going on there. We're gonna get there.
You know what plot point I just wish they can just find out what happened. I'm tired of this abandoned baby plot point. This is the worst plot point in the
That's like it's one of Colleen. I think Colleen and Aaron's like favorite things because like,
no, it's annoying. It's just like, okay, cool, someone's baby got move, find the parent, move. That plot point is just so annoying to me. When do you think we pick up on that one couple that got into a car crash? Well, when do we pick up that plot point again? Like, because the wife just passed out, we don't know what happened to her.
Right. You know what I think it is? I think that is related to Al Hashimi talking about how like she's never been sued. I think that's what that is.
Because she was very proud about.
He's cocky as shit.
Oh, because they kind of bring that back because that one doctor came down and she goes like, didn't have this, didn't have that. Was that who she's talking about or someone else?
So she was no. Oh, was it that patient? I don't know if it was that patient.
Yeah, I don't know which patient she was talking about.
The thing is that kind of that scene kind of is bringing down Al Hashimi a peg, but realistically, it's a shared blame situation. It's a blame on Al Hashimi for this whole AI nonsense in the first place, but it's also blame on Santos for not charting properly and not paying attention to what she's writing in there or what the AI is writing. What we need an actual full-blown Al Hashimi like takedown, and I think that will arrive sooner or later.
Yeah,
with the relevancy of them
missing
that lady's thing.
Did you see the preview to episode 7?
Yeah, Abbott's back.
Yeah, oh,
looking forward. That thing's awesome.
He's one of the I just want Pitt After Dark with Abbott and his crew. Abbott was like such a bad Pitt Fest just happened. He goes, all right, we got this. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You got this. And he just came in and like it was not a big deal to Dr. Abbott.
Shadur with the wrist, except with a really good QBR.
No, he
with a really good QBR.
No, he threw some interceptions during Pit Fest, man. He threw some, because like I'm trying to figure out what's the other plot. Oh, I hope I feel bad for the deaf lady. That's the one plot point that's pissing me off that they're not.
Yeah, so there's a lot there. They use that scene in this most recent episode to like reiterate Santos is a bit of an asshole, but also that like Santos is in that situation being hindered by the fact that the hospital doesn't have the right amount of staff because and this is where like I put my my health law lawyer hat on. The idea there is that if you have improper translation for whatever reason, the hospital is liable because it's like, why didn't you provide better translation? Like you knew what you were supposed to do. You knew you were supposed to have a really good translation. It's not supposed to be on the nurse Princess to be doing ASL translation. It's not supposed to be on
one of the goats.
What?
Princess, she's one of the goats on the show.
her and Perla, all the nurses, all the nurses.
Yeah, Princess, Perla, and then what's his name? That guy that did the sewing of that Evel Knievel impersonator. I forgot his name.
And now he's a nurse practitioner. Yeah,
him. He's great too. Yeah, no, like you know who is one of my favorite characters, and his scene has me dying. In like episode 3 when he hears it shut down. What is the security guard? He goes, "We back in business," and he removes all these important documents just to start taking bets about what happened. I'm like, bro, this is so fucked up. But it's like but the thing is, that shit does happen. Like, when people, I can tell you from someone who has been in and out of hospitals. Like, I remember one time I was like, I've never heard. I thought it was insane. And then when I watched the Pit, I'm like, oh no, this is real. Because like one time I was like, this was like 2017. I had to go. My colon was just like not feeling good and stuff. So I went into my local Kaiser and stuff, and it was like really backed up and stuff. And so I went in. And I was having a lot of blood and stuff, like bloody stool. So like they were just kind of checking and stuff. So I remember like it was a really rough night, kind of like how it is in the Pit. They kind of parked me like right by the security, and I look at the board and there's like tally marks and stuff. And so I just asked the security guard, who was cool, and it kind of reminds me of the security guard, like black and everything, like just like to the T. I'm like, "Oh, what's all these tally marks you have on the board?" He goes, "Oh, we place bets to figure out like why it's busy tonight." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, we place bets and stuff like the pot's at like 250." I was like, "Wait, so like you guys are trying to figure out why it's?" He's like, "Yeah, there could be a lot of things that go on and stuff like that. So we just place bets." I was like, "That's fucking it." I was like, "This is where my healthcare is going to, like taking bets to see why it's busy in the ER." I was so confused in 2017. Then after seeing what they did in season 1 and now in season 2, I'm like, "Yep, this is real. They literally do this. Like this is not something that they do for a TV show." I saw this firsthand. I was like, "Yeah, they do this. Like the security guards are so bored. They're just like this, like fucking hilarious." That was like I was cracking. He's like, "We're back in business." He's like removing all these important documents just to get his betting board ready. Oh, I can see John and I talked extra 30 minutes. This is how great the pit is. I cannot wait to recap season.
All right, so
I cannot wait.
Here's what I need. Ahead of our pit season 1 recap, I'm gonna need your like message. Send me on Messenger your like top like rank your favorite characters, and then maybe also rank your favorite moments from season 1.
Oh,
and then I'll do that too, and then we'll do a comparison. We'll see
there's too many, bro.
like how we did ranking of quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks, like that. We're gonna do that with characters.
And dude, the top. There's 2 top moments for me, and I don't know which one's 1 or which one's 2 for the pit. Like it's either when not Dana. Who's the other nurse? The one that had the what's her name? The McKay? Is it McKay? Dr. McKay? Is that her name? The one that's dealing with that flirted with the soccer. Yeah, the ankle monitor.
Yeah,
when she breaks the ankle monitor, that's one of my favorite. I think that's my favorite.
That's good.
That's my favorite moment. But then also, I know it's a fucked up moment. Dr. Roby breaking down is one of my favorite moments because we get so much backstory and we understand the way that he's wired and stuff. Like,
bro, when he
I think we can both agree Dr. Roby's number 1. Like,
I don't think
we're
like that's easy. That's easy.
Yeah, I don't think everything else like
that's the tribal chief of the pit.
He's like the GOAT. Like there's no debate.
Yeah.
I love it. Like
when he takes the dad into the like morgue, the temporary morgue for the pit fest, and he's showing the dude the bodies, and he's like I was like, oh shit, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Hey, when's this first episode? I might have to rewatch some stuff.
It'll be sometime next week. You let me know when you're available next week.
I'm available Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. No, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday next week, unless they call me.
All right, Thursday is our Thursday.
Okay, I'll watch AI give me a season 1 recap so I can remember stuff.
Do the Al Hashimi. Do that.
Yeah, I'll go type in YouTube Pete season. Hello, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna watch Pitt season 1 recap together. Dr. Rubinia, bitch, and they just fuck up all the names, and I'm like, I don't remember Dr. Santos, but I know Dr. Santos, and then and stuff like the easy, like, oh, let me just be lazy and have an AI robot. You have a voice, use it.
There you go. But alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that is our
man of recaps that
we delved a bit into the pit, but this has been our
clocked in. We didn't delve in, we clocked in. Clocked in. What are you talking about delving in?
We had our recap of the Super Bowl, the 2025 NFL season. It was a good season overall.
I think one of the most entertaining seasons game wise. This was one of the games were so incredible this season. Like Buffalo and Baltimore week 1, amazing freaking game. A lot of really great afternoon slate games. The best Thanksgiving day of football ever. Like we just had dude, Chiefs and Cowboys felt like it was a Super Bowl in itself. Like it felt like such a big deal, that game alone. But even like we had the Detroit and Green Bay game that was good. And then Baltimore and Cincinnati was fun to watch as well. Like probably the best Thanksgiving day ever. Really great playoff games overall too. Like freaking Chicago, the Cardiac Bears, giving us probably like 4 game of the years, like back-to-back weeks. Like Chicago versus San Francisco, Chicago versus Green Bay, both in the regular season. Chicago versus Green Bay in the playoffs, an amazing game. Chicago and the Rams in the playoffs. Like, oh my, just so many really great games this season. Like the early Baker Mayfield hype, like Rams and Seahawks, probably the game of the year, that Thursday night football game. That game was amazing. Like, yeah, and then like freaking the 2-point conversion, Charbonnet just picks it up and it ends up working. And I'm like, what? Like, what's going on here? Like, just a lot of
think about that, man. If Charbonnet doesn't pick up that ball, that game is being played in LA, not Seattle.
And this whole thing changes. Seattle's not
that's
the
what I'm saying.
They're like a 5, maybe 4 seed and stuff. Like,
Charbonnet, like, sir, you got your ring. You did a little devil magic there to get the ring. You have to pay your price to ACL, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, this was a really good NFL season. Probably one of my favorite like game-wise seasons, because like there's plenty of seasons where it's like, how many good games did we see that year? Mm-hmm. But this one, it was like freaking Phil Rivers coming off the couch out of nowhere, and then like, yeah, he didn't win a game, but against Seattle's this dark side defense, he did well. Like, he did well. He had that good Monday Night Football game against the Niners for a little bit. Like, it's so many fun stuff that happened this season and stuff. Like, it's like I said, game wise, one of the best seasons that you can get out of football games. Like, it was just like really, really good stuff. Heck, even like Jets and Steelers, that was a fun week 1 game. Like that all of a sudden we thought Justin Fields was back, and then he reverted back to being Justin Fields. We were like, what happened? He looked good for that 1 game and stuff. But no, yeah, honestly, great for the 2025 season. A-. Very good stuff. We were doing the Tru Heat ratings. Thumbs up. 9 out of 10. Very good season overall from the NFL, in my personal opinion.
But I'm with you. So a lot of great games, a lot of great moments, a lot of ups and downs for a number of teams. Like
the Colts.
Well, yeah, like a lot of changes. A playoffs without the Ravens, without the Chiefs, without the Bengals, the Buffalo. That narrative was there. This is the chance to exercise the demons. Great storylines on the NFC side as well for the playoffs. So scriptwriters did a good job. Very interested to see how we get our script for the 2026 season. But as we move closer, we get to the Underwear Olympics. We'll be back to talk football. But starting next week,
we clock in.
But so until next time, guys, remember to take care of yourselves and each other, and we will catch you all later.